Okay, let's see if I've learned any lessons. Okay, let's see if I've learned any lessons. Jordan, say something for me.
See if I've learned any lessons.
Saying something
Jordan, say
for
something.
you.
See if I've learned any lessons.
Saying something
Yes.
for you.
See if I've learned
Ha!
any lessons.
I'm a god.
Saying something.
And humble. Hello, viewers. Welcome to the Story Told, where I have figured out how to use OBS, at least in some capacity. So look, we're making progress. Yay!
Well played, sir.
We are here for
Incredible.
we are here for session 2 of our last Caravan actual play, If Tomorrow Never Comes. But before we start that, we are proud members of the D20 Radio Network, as well as partnered with Fool's Moon Entertainment. You'll find information about both of those across our socials. Additionally, we're affiliated with Fanroll Dice by Metallic Dice Games. Go to the website, pick out your favorite dice, add Story Told 10 to your order to receive 10% off. And with that, I will pass you along to our illustrious leader, Jarn, with the magnificent beard.
Are you sure I want to be the leader? I don't think I should be. Hello, everybody. This is just Jarn, or Jarn for short. I am going to be hosting today's session of The Last Caravan, moving on with the storyline as it gets a little bit more involved. But before I continue, let's go around the table, introduce once more all the players and characters so you guys can know them and love them before anything terrible should happen. Anyways, looking at first and foremost, I'm actually going to go to the person that's beneath me, I guess, on wherever I'm set up, which is going to be Serena.
Hi, my name is Serena Moon, and I play Bug as a Wren. She's a Wren. She's in her early 20s, and she does not like to get too close to people, and we'll see how that unfolds.
Just knowing last session, Bug doesn't like getting close to people, and just having a grenade in hand is just the best thing ever.
Just a little unpredictable.
I'd say so. All right, so going over, and we're going to look at Natty Danger.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nady Danger, and I am playing the talker, Clint McCarthy, photojournalist and correspondent for the Associated Press.
Not plotting anything evil, I can tell you that much, right?
No. Well, I mean, evil is so subjective, but...
I'm plotting something evil right now.
All right, so we're going to go ahead, and as we're finishing the loop, we're going to go ahead and Logan.
Hi, everyone. I'm playing Ezra Rend. He is our resident stargazer and sad boy.
That is very true.
He's just depressed. It's fine. What's depression at the end of the world?
Nothing really.
Wasn't that the whole theme of that movie Melancholia with Kirsten Dunst, where she was hyper depressed and suicidal, and an asteroid's coming to hit the Earth, and she's just happy now because she's what's there to be sad about? It's gonna end. Anyway, sorry.
I haven't seen that movie, but thank you for giving me that plot as I now think about it in The Last Caravan.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go over towards Doc.
Yeah. With that said, thanks. Yeah.
What an intro.
Yeah. So I'm Doc. I play Arthur Simmons, an ex-boxer who never quite made it all the way to champion, but is now keeping that mean right hand flying for those in need and those he wants to protect. So I'll see if it can fly all the way across the states back to a missing and lost family.
Awesome. And finally, but not least, Eleanor.
Hey everybody, I'm playing Caitlin Bragg, the Bandage. She's your typical backwoods gal trying to pretend she's not, taking care of everybody in a world where that is becoming increasingly difficult.
All right. And
I forgot to mention Bruiser. That's on me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just don't throw your fist at me, please. I know what you can do with those meats.
Fair.
At this point, we're going to go ahead and set the scene once again. Snow falling from the heaven. It's gray and muddled, and clouds fill the sky, letting nary a little bit of the actual blue from the sky pierce through. And for the most part, that downcast kind of fills the world. The trees growing upon this ridge are covered in snow. Every step that a person takes in it, you can hear that crunching sound. It becomes difficult to walk after a while as you have to fight to get across. And yet, as you look upon this small hut just above this ridge, overlooking the road, we're going to see someone walking back towards the homestead. This person in particular is surrounding themselves in their coat, trying to get as much warmth as they can. They try to go out there in order to find, well, anything, something that could aid in the situation, try to bring a little bit of peace and home back into these individuals. And yet, as they go ahead, pushing and struggling forward, making their way towards the homestead, the eerie silence falls upon the world. And looking forward on the tops of the trees, this individual could see this purple haze originating, well, they know exactly where that light originated from before. Why wouldn't it be the same time? Or same the same reasoning this time? And so, Caitlin, what do you do?
I know that it's only a matter of time before Ezra becomes incapacitated. He has a connection to these alien creatures that we have not fully explored, and quite frankly, I do not have the resources to explore safely. So, my primary concern is to get him to the car as fast as possible. So, Caitlin clutches the meager winter mushrooms and the greens that she managed to dig out of the snow in the plastic grocery bag that she always keeps a few of in the trunk, and first would run to Bug, who has been tinkering with some of the abandoned cars, trying to find any pieces of tech or things that we could use, and runs up, and I throw my arms around you real quick in a quick hug. Bug, it's the searchers. They're back.
What? Shit.
You gotta tell Arthur. Gotta tell him to start the Falcon. I'm gonna get Ezra before he passes out.
All right, so I'll head in, go back inside, and tell the others.
And then, Clint, from where you are in the house, you hear Caitlin calling for you, and Caitlin's accent isn't that strong, and really sometimes she does try to suppress it, but it's your name in particular, Clint. She can't hide it, and I think you're savvy enough to notice that she almost never calls you by name if she can avoid it, but now you hear her calling for you, Clint, Clint.
So Arthur and I, having moved aside to have that quiet conversation in the kitchen about the child, Clint kind of rolls his eyes a little bit. He's like, she's got to be shouting my name amongst the strangers. I'll tell you what. And like peels off from the kitchen and starts heading towards the voice, which he's not going to make any sort of dramatic jump through the window, but he's going towards the front door and almost runs smack into Bug as Bug is quickly racing in. Oh, hey, what's going on? What's up?
Searchers, Caitlin saw them. We gotta start heading out.
Again, kind of
We don't have much
pushes,
time.
yeah, kind of moves you aside and makes a beeline towards Caitlin. Standing out the door, I start peering for Caitlin to see where she is. I don't care much about the Seekers. I know they're on the way, but Caitlin out there on her by herself, we need to make sure that she's safe.
Yeah, and I huff and puff behind Bug to the door. Searchers are coming. I gotta get Ezra. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell that family to hide.
Okay.
And I press the bag into your hands. You can feel how cold and rough my hands are from just trying to dig through this snow. Sorry, it's not more.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. Get inside. Come on. And I'm going to usher you in through the door and I'm going to close it. I'm going to see if there's a lock on the door. I'm going to lock it and I'm going to I'm gonna move back into the kind of open family space where the party is gathering, and I'm gonna try and remain calm. I know Bug is probably screaming at this point about what's coming, but with everybody in the door panting, was it? You got a place to hide down here? I'm asking the parents at this point.
Kenneth is still knocked out. This is Arthur's doing. Effective, I should say. But you'll see that Anna just kind of like looks over and she just kind of shakes her head. She's like, there ain't no place to hide else here. We ain't got nowhere else to go.
All right. In a moment like this, with Clint's training working in combat situations and in war zones, it becomes a matter of triage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to Arthur and say, we got to figure these two out. As I find the child. So I'm going to do this in order of operations. Let me try this again. So the food, the meager amount of food that was found, gets given to the mother. I look to Arthur and I say, Arthur, we got to do something with him. And then I'm going to scoop the child up and let her kind of monkey grab me. And I'm going to whisper down, I'm going to just say softly, now hold on tight, dear. And as I'm holding the kid with my left hand, kind of supporting her as she hugs onto me. I draw the pistol with my right hand, and I'm going to look to the rest of the party to try and figure out what we're going to do and where we're going to go.
Real quick, Clint, before all of that happens, I need from you, because you're trying to take care of the situation, asserting yourself. Let's go ahead and get a be the boss.
Okay. Oh, I got to look at my... I knew I was forgetting something. I have 1 in Be the Boss, so I'm going to go 2D. This is going to be bad. This is going to go great. What am I talking about? This is going to be fine.
Double sixes all around for everybody.
I pre-rolled these. Everything looks good. 3 and a 1. Let's go.
At this point, you go ahead, scoop the little girl up. She begins to cough profusely. You'll see that her mom throws herself at to grab the girl from you. This causes you to stumble back. The little girl's like, "Mom, help!" And with that, you'll see that the little girl, you kind of fall back. You don't fall on your face, but you do end up actually letting the girl go. And at this point, you'll see that the mom just looks at you almost like, what are you planning on doing? And with that, she grabs the girl and runs back into the house, locking herself behind one of the doors, probably leading to the little girl's room.
I did have a place to hide. Going to now turn to the party. I know how Arthur feels. I know how everyone feels in this moment. I talked with Arthur earlier about having to make hard decisions and how in the face of when the bullets are flying and combat is on, you sometimes have to make the best of 2 bad decisions. And I'm going to look through the group and I'm going to say, I'm not going to fight these 2 to try and save them. We have a job to do. We've got to get to the car. If anyone can try to talk them into coming with us, we don't have space for them. And I'm kind of like Clint seems to be kind of working the numbers in his head, and the math just isn't mathing.
I would say that Arthur would step forward and put his hand on Clint's shoulder to give him the, like, you can calm it for now. And then he would actually hand the keys to Bug, and, assuming they kind of talked about how to get the car going before, and he would actually walk back for one last attempt and knock on the door to try to get her attention. I just forgot her name too. Crap. Anyway, ma'am. He would try to stay calm and
You wrap up.
See it. Listen.
you rap on that door and you hear the crying of the child just beyond. You'll hear like something moving as they're trying to get away from the door itself. And at this point, if you want to continue having a conversation, I am going to need a talk it out.
So
Check it out.
funny. Just not to break
We
the
just
tension
switched
of the moment, but yeah, exactly.
Switched it out. I should have been the boss. I was trying to get you. 5.
You'll hear the sounds go quiet in the back of that door. You're standing there just kind of looking at this wooden door. You'll see that it's beat up as time has taken its toll. You begin to feel that vibration that came with the scout vehicles beforehand. And at this point, somewhere off in the distance, you can hear Ezra probably wailing in pain.
Yes, very much.
What do
so.
you say? What do you say, What do you say, Arthur?
I'm going to give it one last shot. Now, I know that I can get you and your daughter somewhere safe, and then, I don't know, hopefully let your husband catch up, or at least take your daughter and keep her safe to the west and keep her that way until you or him or both of you can find a way to catch up or give her a better chance. And that's all I'm offering. I'm not going to take her from you. But the decision happens now. You open this door, and I keep her as safe as I can, or she stays here with you and whittles away and you hope for the best. Now my crew's already getting to the car and I'm about to walk away, and I know that's a hard decision, but you have to make it now.
At this point, it goes silent right behind that door. And then you hear a soft, melodious voice just pick up as she sings, "Blue flowers you will find when you're looking for me. Blue flowers." And at this point, after her song, you hear the footsteps and she begins to approach the door, unlocking it. You'll see that Maud looks distressed. She is crying. She's not hiding it. Her eyes are tired. She's tired. And she looks down towards Charlotte, who's clinging onto her tightly. And she says, "You're right. There ain't no way I'm surviving this. And there ain't no way Kenneth is surviving this either. But Charlotte, sweet, innocent Charlotte, she has a chance." She goes ahead, pulls the child from her, and she looks at her. Charlotte is just like staring at her, just wanting to be back in her embrace. She's just like, "Mommy?" And she goes, I love you, baby. Just know that I love you. But you have to go with this man. You have to go, and you have to hold up for us in the future. Just remember your old dear mama. I love you, child." And she goes ahead and tears it away from her. Charlotte, trying to grab her, starts to scream, but you see that the screams turn into fits of coughs, and she goes ahead and Maud shoves her into your arms.
I'll take her and hold her close, and not obviously letting her cough, but into the shoulder and kind of into the vest and shoulder, and, protecting her like she's going to be protected from the cold and from, holding her firm, but not like smothering her in, you know what I mean?
You'll see that Maud looks at her one last time, just touches her head, grabbing just the small wisp of her hair. And then she turns determined and she goes, "Now you get out of here. Get out of here now. I don't want to see any of you." And at that point, you'll see that she runs over towards where her husband is upon the couch. At this point, the entirety of that building is stirring. And again, you'll see that poor Ezra suffering through all of this.
While that is happening, I'm not going to be making guttural noises right now. It's a little late in the day for that for me. Can I attempt to perhaps harmonize with what's happening to me to see if I can tone it down so I can function when it happens, or glean any information from it? From what
you
I'm
know
hearing.
what? I will say that, well, how about this? You can harmonize with it or attempt to harmonize with what's going on with you to try to lessen it, but you by yourself aren't going to be able to do it justice.
Okay.
If you could get someone else, anyone in your party, eventually to kind of like, hey, maybe you can help me out through this, I will definitely allow that.
Okay. Cool.
Well, if Ezra and I aren't separated, that was my MO, was to get Bug to get the car situation started, get Clint to tell them to hide, and then I was going to Ezra. So it probably doesn't matter now regardless, but at the very least, like, I'm, you know, arms around him, trying to get him to the car, or, you know, just to get him from spasming, anything like that.
If that's the case, then Ezra,
Yeah.
with the support of Caitlin, go ahead and do a harmonize with alien stuff and add an additional die.
Cool. So
And this is going to be Caitlin's support assisting you, trying to figure this out.
So it's 3 + 1 plus an extra die.
Yep. And Caitlin, get yourself a heroism. By the way, you guys all got 1 heroism point from last time, right? Additionally. All right. Caitlin got another heroism point.
Sweet.
6, 5, 3, 3, 1.
Nice.
So the song, again, this cacophony of sounds slams into you. This is like a person standing in the middle of an ocean and a massive wave just tumbles upon them. It's too much for any individual to bear. It is too much for you to make any sense of it. As your world is tipped upside down at the sound of this, or this music, this cacophony that fills you, you begin to make out strands, melodies that you are able to kind of navigate. At this point, almost you understand that they're words. You understand that there's something being said. What is being said exactly is still unknown to you. But at this point, you're able to lessen some of the choir, some of the music. So you can hear only what's pertinent to you, what's coming from this thing specifically around you. At this point, as you open your eyes, realizing this, as you're taking the moment, Kaylin, what are you going to be doing to assisting Ezra in all of this? As Ezra's just kind of like blanking out and again just going through his moments with guttural noises, as he called it.
Yeah. So Bug is getting the car started. My goal is to get him into the passenger seat. So I think supporting a person walking is something that Caitlin has a lot of experience with. She doesn't have her belt like she used to, but at the very least, she can support him. So I think she has Ezra, her arm around your waist, your arm around her shoulder, and all you need to do, just put one foot in front of the other. I'll do the rest, but you just gotta keep moving your legs.
It's so noisy.
Just keep walking.
It's so noisy. It's so noisy. Eleanor, it's so noisy.
I know.
What are we doing with them? What's going on with them?
It doesn't matter. You're safe. We're gonna get you in the car. Just breathe.
And Ezra will allow himself to be carried, drug walked to the car.
How's Bug doing in the driver's seat?
Well, I'm thinking, are the lights getting any closer? Is the sound becoming larger? I'm desperately being like, come on, guys, come on, we gotta go.
Well, remember that the car is all the way down this lengthy ridge that goes downwards, that is descending, because you guys had left it on the road, with a semi kind of blocking the way at this point.
So you gotta come get us.
And so as this point, Bug, you're told by Caitlin to go start the car. You go out and you're like, wait a second, which car are we talking about? You turn around and you're going to see the vehicle. You don't see it just yet, but you can see the light. You can hear the humming sound. You can feel the ground stir as this thing is approaching faster and faster. At this point, you're going to notice that you and your crew are going to have little time to be able to take action before this thing is upon you.
So I can see that I guess I'm wondering, are we leaving the car behind? Are we booking it? Are they gonna have enough time to get here?
If you guys, like I will say, Bug is able to convince everybody to run out right now. You guys can scale down the hillside in order to make it towards the car. You might take a tumble here and there, but for the most part, you'll probably make it to the car before this thing reaches the homestead. The homestead is upon a ridge, so you're going to definitely have some time there. effectively.
At least
to be
it's
able to go work.
downhill.
Correct.
Right. We just kind
I
of
just
roll.
throw Ezra like
Snow
a
sleds
bowling
around?
ball.
Toss me around,
So-
why don't you?
So as I see Arthur in that kind of father mentality, clutching the child and knowing that the child is safe, I'm going to spring into action. I'm going to make my way towards the kind of through the family room towards the door. But as I do, I'm going to whirl around and I'm going to grab a picture of Arthur clutching this child, wearing his own long flannel with I envision the fear in the child's eyes and the raw determination that Arthur has when Arthur mode kicks in and when he really like that boxer comes in and he knows he's got to go. So I capture that moment before turning and busting out the door and screaming at Bug at this point. Where's the fucking car? Where's the car? And I'm busted, so I like do like a leap. It's a very off the porch, and I'm going to come up next to Ezra, right? So, and I'm gonna take Ezra's other arm. So now Caitlin and I are helping Ezra. So Ezra in one arm, a firearm in the other, and I'm looking back to make sure that Arthur is going to get out. But I have total trust in Arthur. I know that he's going to be just fine. It's Ezra right now I'm worried about, and also Caitlin. And I'm gonna the three of us are going to start making our way to the car.
So,
I'd say that Arthur.
oh, go ahead.
As I say, Arthur, as soon as it happened, where he saw and witnessed the raw determination in her, and the decision that she made, is gonna, like you said, start heading that way too. So, I mean, not that he would stop and pose for the picture, but I'm sure he's used to it by now with action moments, and is just following suit and heading down, and obviously gonna follow everybody if the car isn't there, and just clutching her tight and trying to keep her warm and safe, and getting to the car as fast as possible as well.
Atlas, would you permit me to do a sneak around roll to see if I can get that as a candid moment or as something that Arthur actually saw?
Actually, I was going to ask for take aim.
Okay, even better. So that's 3d6. No, wait. 1 plus 1, so 2d6. 3 and a 2.
Should be heroic about it.
So, when you go to take that picture, you'll see Arthur again in this pose, and you're really wanting to capture it. Everything is perfect. You go to snap that picture, but instead you feel as Maud passes by you, kind of knocking you out of the way. Your shot is lost. And at this point, you'll see that Maud is running over to grab Kenneth and starting to stir him awake, trying to get him up. At this point, you go ahead and you continue on making your way out of the house, trying to grab Ezra, heading down the side of this slope as you guys begin to descend towards the road. Effectively, none of you. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna be a GM for a moment, and Atlas for a moment here. Everybody, go ahead and do for me a fight under pressure. This is to see physically fit how you do as you're making your way down the side of the slope here, in case you tumble and fall. I'm putting up a clock. The clock will tell me if you guys succeed overall as a group, or if any of you fail so bad that it kind of hinders the rest of the group.
Jarn, can you remember or remind me how heroism points work again?
You can use a heroic point. It should be on your character sheet, actually, right to the side. You can spend it to add a +1 die to a roll that you're going to be, a gambit that you're going to be doing. And it can increase harm when you're doing an attack to something, or you can just randomly find a useful item.
Well, I will be doing that to add a die because I do not have any fight under pressure.
I got nothing but faith on you guys. Nothing but faith.
My goodness.
6, 4,
Oh.
3. Yeah.
4-3.
Wait,
4-3.
Remind me again. Doubles are good.
Doubles are crits on 6s. I'm pretty sure you got double 1s.
Double 3s.
Double 3s. They're good. That's good. Hey, awesome. I appreciate you.
Perfectly
I got a
average.
3. I got a 3.
All right. So,
I got a deuces.
deuces. Oh gosh. Okay. So,
Did not do that well.
Well, I mean, I'm not a ballroom dancer or anything. I'm just doing my best out here.
so doing the best that you can. Arthur, you're the only one. You, as well as Ezra, are able to keep your ground. I'm gonna say this is mostly due to the fact that you're kind of trying to help out Ezra as well as Clint, helping out Ezra, keeping him propped. The rest of you doing the best that you can. One misstep and you begin to tumble through the snow as you begin to fall down the side of this slope. Eventually, all three of you come to a stop. This is with the exception of Arthur and Ezra. You guys are able to make it down fairly easily and well. The rest of you are going to be suffering one harm. So you got a bit of an ouchie as you tumbled down towards the ground. But at this point, as you guys are getting up, trying to collect yourselves, you'll see that turning around, you're going to see that the vehicle appears. You'll see that it's this massive vehicle that just looms overhead, as big as the one that you had seen previously within the small town. And you're going to see that the purple light, is shining down upon the building. At this point, you can feel the vibrations of the earth. You can see that some of the snow begins to fall off of the trees, as well as the world around. And thankfully, your car is far more closer than you would have been when that thing now approached just moments before. And so, as you guys are making your way towards the car, remember you have a semi that is literally in the center of the road. What are you guys going to do?
And that semi doesn't drive, right?
Semi does not drive.
I
Is
tried
it
reporting
completely
it and
blocking?
could not.
It is blocking the road.
Are we all at the car at this point? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all here.
Do we remember like an alternate route or a turn off in recent memory that as we drove up here? We could go back the opposite direction.
So I think I'm going to be sitting on the rear door, like the back left door, kind of like with my feet in the car, but my butt on where the window would be. So I'm like up above the top of the car, you know, so I can, in case that anything were to happen, I could get a picture of it. And I'm going to just scream at Arthur, I don't care where we go, anywhere but here. We can go back.
Can we put...
I was asking.
Can we put... Oh, God, my head. Can we put the truck in neutral and use our car to push it out of the way, and maybe it'll crash down the rest of the mountain? Could give us
That's gonna happen.
It could give us an escape, too.
It's really heavy. We don't have time.
Yeah.
I can get us around anywhere. We just gotta go.
So I guess the question is going to fall upon the driver. Driver, how are you going to get around this? Or are you just going to hit reverse and scramble back?
Gotta hit reverse and scramble back. We don't
All
have
right.
a choice.
Who's ever the driver, give me that driving check.
Okay.
Say you driving, Bug? Did you give the keys back?
Oh yeah,
believe in
he's
you.
going to give the keys
I
back.
believe in you. I believe in you.
Okay. I will try. That's a 5, a 6, and a 6. Double 6.
Oh,
Double sixes.
Let's
Told you.
go.
Spin it around.
Incredible.
Bug. And again, if you literally wanted to off-road this car and find a way of getting across in front of the semi, bypassing trees and bushes as this car just like bumps into everything along the way, but gets around the semi, I am totally down for that. That is up to
Okay,
you to
then yes,
decide.
that would be the preferable option. I'll say, guys, get in. We're getting out of here and maneuver.
Yeah.
around.
And I think instinctively seeing Clint like hanging out of the window, Caitlin is like diving into the car in the middle seat and just what's propriety? Whatever, just grabbing your legs.
Yeah.
She'll realize later what position she's just put herself in with you, but for the time being, she's not thinking about that.
Yeah. And I don't think that Clint is worried about his own safety in the moment, being reckless. He is just, he knows what is going to happen next, especially with that alien, especially in it. It doesn't take a mind reader to know what might happen next. So all I am doing is I'm holding my camera as still as possible, pointed at where the house is. The farther we get, the worse the picture is going to get. But it is my ultimate fear that I'm not going to need a lot of light to get this photo.
You hear the snap as the camera goes off. Clint, your faith in your means, again, how fast you can take a picture has never led you astray. It's always something else in the scene that causes you the issue. You, though, in the moment, you know how to keep a stoic mind in regards to taking that perfect photo. And at this point, Clint will be the one to hear it and see it. It'd be up to him to describe it to you later. But you'll see that you're taking a picture of the front of the lodge. You'll see the front porch. And at that moment, the alien spacecraft is looming overhead, gazing down upon the slope that you guys had tumbled. The moment that the engine began to roar, you'll see that the thing starts turning its sights towards you. But you'll see that at this moment, Maud comes out with pots and pans and begins slapping them together. You don't hear what she says, but you can see that she is standing against them. You can see that for that just one moment, she is something more, something greater. And in the next instance, the purple haze that falls over her turns red. And that's when you snap that photo. And in the next instance, you are shocked to see that the entire house is wreathed in flames. And the car continues to speed onward.
I pull the camera. I like so much of what Clint sees and experiences in times of intense combat and intense pain, suffering, and trauma is always done safely through the lens, right? If I'm looking at it through the camera, it's not that real. But as the camera wreaths, or as the house begins to be wreathed in flames, I pull the camera down and I just watch as we careen off into the darkness, and I take one last look, and I think that it is one more name or two more names and two more people that I bear witness to along this journey, and I just watch. And then eventually I slide into the car.
The car continues on, Bug at the wheel, and for the most part, it is becoming a little more cramped. But at this moment, those thoughts kind of fade. Your angst, your tiredness, your weariness, everything that pains you at this moment, both physically and emotionally, just kind of subsides. And there's a soothing calmness as the car continues on. And so, at this point, you guys are done with Ash Ridge. Your vehicle continues to move forward, but I guess I have a big question to ask. Well, first off, this is a great moment because you guys are moving from one region to another. Each region is locked by a certain amount of scenes that need to occur. You guys have succeeded within this region of Ash Ridge, which is one of the first that actually starts off. So, the question I have for you guys is: we have Weird Virginia and the Great Smoking Crest. Does any of those locations sound amicable to you?
I say weird Virginia.
I don't know. I've had a lot of weird experiences with West Virginia, let alone before it became weird Virginia.
Right.
So,
Well, my family's
Yeah,
from West Virginia. It's just weird.
well then,
I love
hey,
it. I
that's,
love it.
you know what?
Yeah.
Then we'll take you home. That's fine. I'm good with that.
Country roads.
Yeah, as
So
Caitlin as a Marshall University dropout, gotta rep Weird Virginia.
Right.
all
Clint's,
right.
yeah, Clint's head down in the notebook, but anyone who doesn't pick Weird Virginia, I'm not gonna be mad, but I will be kind of disappointed.
Ooh.
I mean, I guess especially with Smoking Crest does sound somehow more ominous. So, but yeah, once again,
Yeah.
Arthur would be doing his best to, doesn't probably know the words, but humming the tune that the mom sang to try and soothe Charlotte as much as possible, and
I
just
mean,
holding her. So he's letting the rest of the decisions and where we're going kind of reside with the rest of the crew. So I'm good with, as even players, the vote going to others.
Ezra is just recovering and just staring out the window, trying to parse that sound and images that were like just flashing through his head.
All right, excellent. So, what I'm going to say is that since we are crossing regions, there's actually a couple of game mechanics that we're going to have to take care of, which is basically you guys get to add another. First off, you get to recover all from harm. So, if you guys have any harm on you, that is removed from your character sheet in its entirety. Also, you're going to be receiving adding one pip into one of your gambits, whichever one you like, and also selecting another of the talents that your character, your um,
Special
character.
abilities.
Yes, I know it's not called character; they're called. Oh gosh,
Special
what was it
abil-
called?
Oh my God, what are they called?
I call everything playbooks at this point.
Yeah,
Special
yes,
abilities.
archetype? No, is it like
It's not archetype. Imprint.
imprint?
Someone was paying attention, thank goodness. But yes, you get to pick a special ability and you get to add a pip into one of your skills, whichever one you would like.
Do you want us to tell you what we picked, John?
I would appreciate it. It helps me understand better your characters.
I took Fight Under Pressure. Since I just used it, it made sense.
Nice. And what special ability are you planning on picking up?
Still working on that.
I'm going to max out my search and survey. So now I have all 4 for that. So I'll be rolling 5d6 every time for that. And then inspired by some of the events, I'm going to take enough. Once per region, you may step in and stop a conflict involving less than 10 individuals in which no one has died. For 2 minutes, the combatants will listen to you. After this, the conflict might resume. So that's no roll. That's just guaranteed. I don't have to do a be the boss, nothing.
Awesome.
That's that's incredible.
Can you take special
I mean-
abilities from different imprints?
Can.
You can.
Why, you want to steal that one?
No, I'm looking at the lookout special abilities. I can't
That's what we're
decide.
gonna do.
If I took Buddy, could I have an alien pet? I'm kidding. Right now, I'm kidding. I might take it later.
If you get a good buddy, you get a dog, which is the greatest thing on earth. The best friend you can possibly have.
They are. They truly are.
And if it's a pug, I'll give you bonuses all the time.
I'm gonna do she can take it. And I'll max out my rig and repair as well.
Awesome.
My issue is I like these special abilities, but none of them are really like would have come up for it to make sense to take it at this point.
So I'll finish maxing out Fight Under Pressure and probably take. I actually wasn't thinking about this, but I'll probably take Impossible Endurance just in case, which is once per encounter. When you would take 3 or less harm, you ignore it.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Oh, for mine, I would be able to push the vehicle beyond normal means and or tow an object that weighs up to 20 tons for a travel phase.
I mean, you definitely push that vehicle beyond its normal means. Showing up poor Arthur, who's sitting there just like, who's driving this car?
I've never seen the aluminum Falcon move like this.
Okay,
So unexpected.
So I'm going to take expertise, and I'm going to take it in ornithology, which is the study of birds. Who knows? It might come up. I guess now it will.
Yeah, hopefully.
And it gives me an extra heroism point that I can take. I add to my heroism track too, so that's kind of cool.
You got it.
We like that.
All right, so with mine, I was originally going to do Pretty Good Plan, but unfortunately, it's when enacting a plan alongside allied NPCs, not PCs. You can give them all 1d plus 1d to any rolls they make. So, I'm going to go with Friend Maker. You get a 1d on friendly social interactions with people who have never heard of you and are meeting you for the first time. And then I'm going to add my third pip to talk it out.
Very nice.
Nice.
All right, and I think that everybody has been sorted out. And by the way, you also got another heroism point just because you guys are changing regions, so that's another thing to look forward to.
Nice.
I'm about to start spending these soon.
That's the idea. That is the idea. But we're gonna go through the steps before you move into Weird Virginia, and so you're going to be going ahead. We're gonna do the upkeep phase. Don't really care about noise. Fuel and consumed supplies are going to be taking effect. So you guys are going to be spending 1 fuel and 1 supply. I think it's per individual in the car or in the caravan, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure.
I thought we had
I don't
2
wanna-
supply and 2 fuel total, though.
No,
So
we
you
have
have
way
you
more
have
than that.
6 supply, thanks to Bug, who decided to
Oh.
take everything from every single car that it's, like Bug could lay her eyes on. She's like, "Yep, that's mine. I'm taking that."
No.
I mean, if they're not using it.
They were not.
I mean, they're probably not using much of anything, to be honest. But,
All right, so yeah, you'll be taking 1 fuel, 1 supply. So at this point, you'd have 1 fuel and 5 supply available
Okay.
to you guys. If
And
anybody
you
wants to
said
keep
noise
track of
level.
that. Noise level at this point is going to be 0. You guys are moving into a new region, so there's not going to be too much noise on your end. But you do have afterwards your travel phase. At this point, the players have several actions that they can commit to in order to help themselves out. You have lie low, which is try to reduce noise, which is not necessary at this moment because you're moving into a new area. Recover, which again, you're going to be recovering from harm, so no need to work on getting the harm out of the way. But you can do resupply, where you can gain more fuel or supply. You can work on a slow project, try to fix up the car or perhaps do something else. And on top of that, well, actually, sorry, and I do apologize. Work on a slow project is something that you do with science or rig and repair. Whereas work on a vehicle, you can work on your car to modify it, to fix it up, to add anything that you think might help out the car, remove any of the cons on it, add some pros. It's up to you guys. And
Yeah,
so
we had
remember,
started working on a modification.
you did. I just don't remember who kept the chart.
We were
1
fixing-
pie slice of 4.
There you
Got
go.
1 so far.
Yes. Yes, that's what I have as
Yeah,
well.
on the on the dials.
So remember, you guys all have 3 travel actions you can take. This is all between you guys, and some of these have multiple individuals tossing die. Some of them don't. So decide who you want to assist and who do you want to kind of work on to get these actions.
Well, I definitely have to get
I'll
too.
help look for fuel.
So I can assist with repairs if Bug's going to concentrate on that.
Yes, I will.
Let you lead those endeavors and pass your wrenches, because clearly this car is yours.
You now own it.
How'd I get ownership? Nice.
Yeah, title. You got the pink slip on that one. You owe drove.
Would it be wrong to say that Bug lives her life a quarter mile at the time?
It'd be wrong. It is always wrong to repeat that.
It's good to know. Good to
And
know.
not even because of the original, but because of the motorcycle one that came out.
Oh.
Would everyone be okay if
Yeah.
I went and scouted around a bit, see if I could find anything, any information?
So we
Perhaps
can
even-
attach that to resupply. You have up to 3 travelers that can do appropriate gambits to try to obtain what you need within the region. For every 6 that you guys roll, you're going to be gaining 1 supply or fuel. So this is, I mean, what we can first set up is a resupply. So who would like to participate within the resupply? This is kind of meandering off, looking over for items, looking for information. I'm down for information. Why not? That's a supply.
Demand.
Yeah. I kind of want to
Yeah.
specifically see if I can find anything alien in origin to see if we can understand what's happening to me, how to turn it off, or to at least control it, and if we can find any way to like cloak ourselves from them, or I don't know, whatever, anything, perhaps something.
All right. So what skill check or what gambits do you guys what gambits are you guys going to be using? Let me ask that from. So at this point, let's consider that the car you guys stop early on within the weird Virginia. You'll find like an abandoned gas station well enough that it might be equipped still with some gas. You'll probably find that there's some remnants of food stuff there as well, but nothing to really put your high hopes on. At this point, you guys can again go off scouting, trying to get information, trying to get supplies. What gambits would you be using for the resupply?
So search and survey for me.
Since I'm trying to find
Yeah, I'm gonna-
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm going with Caitlin. So I would say search and survey. I'm not very good at it, but
Am I
set of eyes.
teaching you? Am I showing you?
well, I mean, I would be interested to carry on a bit of conversation with you as you do it. So
Yeah, let's do it as a team.
yeah, let's do it as that, because I wanted to pull Caitlin aside and have a conversation. So while we're searching, might be an opportune time.
Okay.
I think Ezra would probably start out with you and then probably veer off a little bit. I want to try harmonizing with the alien stuff to see if I can sense anything where we're at, like maybe some like fallen drone or busted up like something. I don't know. See if anything like starts making my head spin a little bit.
All right.
I'll give you something to make noise, something to clack, 2 things together, and you start to feel woozy, you just hit them, okay?
Yeah. I think I'm hoping if it's smaller than whatever the hell that was, it won't be as bad.
Yeah. All
What's
right.
happening to me, Caitlin? I don't understand.
I mean, none of us do, but I don't know, Ezra. I think you've got a tiger by the toe, and you're capable and smart, and you know way more than I do. Just find what you can, and we'll be your sounding board when you come home, okay?
You got it, Caitlin. And remember, no one's smarter than a 5th grader. And he just kind of gives you a smile and starts meandering off into a different direction.
All right. So you got your pistol. You don't Probably shouldn't have it drawn just in case we come across somebody. But I'll show you how I do. We clear corners first, and then think, where would I hide something? And that's the first place you look. Okay?
Sounds good. All right. And then before we left, I would have pulled the rifle out of the trunk. So, before we get into clearing the corners, and as we're walking there, I'm gonna kind of have the rifle over on my shoulder, and I'm gonna say, as we're walking, so how's the head?
I can take a hit.
Yeah, I saw that. It's quite impressive, is one way to describe it.
Yeah, it's
Also,
one way.
a little crazy, maybe a bit foolish, is another way.
I've heard that too.
But I gotta tell you, it was pretty cool. You should be proud of yourself. It was quite brave of you. Not many folks have that sort of bravery built into them.
Yeah, my crazy hillbilly ways. I get it.
No, I'm not saying nothing about no hillbilly ways or anything like that. I've met many folks from many places, and it's a rare thing to see someone, when a situation or danger approaches, to run towards it. Most folks run away from it. So you should be pretty proud of yourself.
Thanks. I mean, you know a thing or two about danger, pointing to your press flak jacket.
Yeah, I do. And can I tell you something? Most of the time when the combat and the fighting and the death and the screaming starts, I find a nice place to hide. So be proud of yourself.
You can take a good picture of my inevitable demise, I guess.
Well, perhaps we should work on that part a little bit. And as I do that, I'm going to gently and easily slide the pistol out of the holster on the chest. You ever used one of these before?
Yeah. My Uncle Jed forced me to a few times. I pretended to point it at his girlfriend, and he didn't make me after that.
Okay. And I can't help but feel like that was not the answer that Clint was kind of expecting. So it like throws him off just enough to be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Well, I just wanted to make sure, in case we ever need it, we've got an extra weapon here. If you're gonna do something stupid, at least do it armed. And I'm gonna and as I say it, it comes with that comes with a bit, like a spoonful of sugar with like a playful elbow to indicate that, like, doing something stupid meaning doing something heroic. All right, now show me how you do this whole searching around and such.
Okay. Well, it's going to take a detailed eye, so got any of those?
Nope, not a single one. And what you don't know is in fact, while you are going to be looking for important supplies like fuel and things like that, I'm looking for liquor and cigarettes. So I would like to use my search and survey for any sort of stuff like that under the guise of looking for fuel and other important supplies.
All right, roll and let the dice tell the story.
Let's go. All right. After you, please.
All I can think of is that quote
Okay.
from Practical Magic. I should smoke two at once. It'll shorten the sentence.
I'm going to burn a heroism too, so I'm rolling 66. Let's see what we got. All right, that's 2 6s and a 5 are my top 3 highest.
Yes.
Very nice. All right, so I will say that you're going to be able to actually pick up, because you're looking for fuels specifically, right?
Considering I only have one left, yeah.
All right. I will go ahead and give you an additional fuel, so you'll be picking up 3 fuel to add to your amount here.
Let's go.
And if you'll allow me, I will roll my 1d6. And I will
Oh.
also burn a heroism point.
Please land a 6.
Please, I'm doing the best. All right, hold on. Let me talk to you two for a second. Narratively, we really need you to roll well on this.
Now you got to roll talk it out.
I don't want to have to click for the. Oh,
2 and a 4.
No.
I guess I'm treating you for the PTs.
4's got to find at least something.
So I will say that you'll see that Caitlin goes and she has an idea. She comes to this empty gas station. She begins to maneuver around. She gets like a jerry can and she'll start trying to pump out fuel wherever she can. All the while, you're going to see that Clint is just like one moment he's there interested, in the next you see his eyes kind of wander off. As Kaylin is probably describing how to take care of this, how to like siphon out fuel, what you want to do. Whereas like she turns around for a moment and she's like, where is this guy? This guy just kind of wanders off. At this point, as you're approaching the gas station, you kind of look inside Clint and you're going to see that most things have been claimed. Most of the shelves are kind of rummaged, tipped over. For the most part, you'll see that anything that would have been useful, oh my gosh, they took all the cigarettes. They took every last single one. They didn't leave one behind. And at this point, you're feeling a bit frustrated. But you are going to see painted on the window, kind of the divider for the cashier and the customers. You're going to see painted on that window, Rostrom is salvation.
I'm going to pull out my notebook and quickly jot that down. Rostrom.
Trum, Rostrum.
Rostrum is salvation. Hey, Caitlin.
Yep.
Nothing scary or nothing, but you might want to come take a look at this.
Okay. What you got?
And I'm gonna point playfully. I'm gonna point at the cigarettes, at the empty cigarette cases, and go, "Can you believe this? They took them all, every single one of them.
Not even one Lucy left for you. Didn't they know you were coming?
The audacity of these monsters. Oh, by the way, there's a weird thing over here." And I'm gonna point out where it says "Rostrum is salvation." Does that mean anything to you?
No, I mean, the world was full of kooks and Quakers before it all went to shit, but just sounds like somebody trying to punch above his weight, as Arthur would say.
All right. Well, how'd the gas go?
You'd know if you'd stuck with me.
Listen, I had important things to do as well. You had given me the tools of searching and finding, but how else? I'm a hands-on learner.
Oh, hands-on.
I got to try this myself, you know.
Yeah, you should try keeping your hands off time and again.
Hands off?
Yeah.
What did I do?
You could have just asked me. I can find you something.
Oh, you got
think
cigarettes?
I can't? You think I can't sniff out a handle?
Well, hey, listen. I don't know. Listen, I've been on tour with you for no less than what, 24 hours?
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, I figured you one of those Quakers to begin with.
That's disgusting. And I spit.
Hey, Quaker spit.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I go, I'm gonna say I do apologize. This is just my way of making friends.
I think, look, Clint, you and Arthur, I was not expecting it, but you are friends. And I don't say that lightly. Ezra's a trustworthy kind of man. And Bug and I, we need trustworthy men around us. Especially if we keep pushing into, and I indicate that name, Rostrum, again. These kind of men.
And
That's what Charlotte needs too.
And I don't say anything, but the space that the absence of sound speaks for me, and I just kind of nod slowly. Want to go find Ezra?
Yeah, I try not to helicopter around him, but I worry.
Yeah, we're not carrying that gas, are we?
You're carrying all the gas. I'm a lady.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe I can. Never mind. All right. Gonna lean down and lift them two up, and I'm just gonna. The mantra is one trip with the groceries, one trip with the groceries, one trip with the groceries. As we start lugging our way.
I want to create a roll just for Clint right now to just stumble and lose all that gas and just pours out. But no.
I spent a heroism for that gas.
I know.
Don't do that to me, please.
Ezra.
Yes, sir.
You begin to make your way away from everybody else. As you're stepping out, the snow has now become far more listless than before. You can make evidence of some forms and figures off in the distance, but again, it's the trees that are covered or the terrain itself. In this white, wintry world, it's very hard to discern from any sort of distance what is real and what is not. And yet, you're standing out here, you can feel your breath hanging in front of you, the coolness, just the bitterness falling over you, and you're by yourself. At this point, you are going to attempt to connect. You're trying to connect with whatever it is that these extraterrestrials are doing to you. Go ahead and do a harmonize with alien stuff for me, please.
Okay, I'll pick that up in a minute. Big money, big money. 5333.
Okay. It's silent around you. Again, only the sound of the passing breeze calls your attention. As you're there, you wrap your coat a little bit tighter around you, trying to stave off that coldness and bitterness. And you try to connect. You don't exactly know what you're doing. It's not exactly like a manual was dropped into your lap and they said, this is exactly how you connect, but rather you try to find a way. And at this moment, you hear a sound. It sounds like strings that are playing not in a melody, but against each other. And the sounds go loud and then quiet momentarily. Are those voices? Are those thoughts, emotions? These questions begin to overwhelm you, but you follow that melody. Eventually, you pass the clearing. You make your way past the gas station. You go out into this field, into this clearing. Looking around, you're going to see off in the distance what looks like, is that a herd of cow? Yeah, that's cows out. That's cattle. And at this point, though, you turn, and off to your right-hand side, you are going to see a sight that surprises you, catches you just by surprise. This beautiful tree. The tree is bearing this reddish fruit that fills the entirety of the tree. It seems as though it does not belong here. It does not belong within this world, but you know that tree, okay, this massive tree standing there and bearing fruit in this temperature? No way. But something calls your attention. Something about that sound, that discordant sound of strings playing against each other. And at this point, you begin to look at the tree, and I'm going to ask you, Ezra, what do you do?
I walk up to it and put my hand on it. Slowly.
As you begin
Tentatively.
I will say, before you even get to the tree, this is still several yards in front of you. Before you get even near to it, you'll see that the cows are nearby, several yards away from you. They're moving, kind of, they're quiet, and you begin to approach this tree. You reach out with your hand, hoping that as you get closer, you'll be able to touch the tree. In that moment, and to your shock and surprise, you're going to see that these massive fruits that are hanging begin to spread open their wings. The song that you're listening to, the chords that were playing begin to screech out literally in front of you as the tree comes to life. You're going to see all of these creatures, these bugs that are holding onto the branches, acting like fruit, begin to actually open their wings. And at this moment, with one song, you're going to hear almost like this deep tenor of a string just play. These things are going to fly, erupting into life, flying off of this tree. They begin making a beeline towards one of the nearest cows. You'll see that these things fall upon the cows, and in the next instance, you're going to hear the sound of cows crying out in pain. You're going to see that the rest of the herd abandons the unlucky ones that have gotten caught. In that instance, you fall to the ground. You're sweating. You're hearing the sound of these strings playing while cows are being destroyed.
I vomit.
You are going to be taking a 1 damage, by the way.
Okay, absolutely. Let me just mark that.
Jarn, would you call this harm psychological in nature?
Yeah. It's definitely
Perfect.
something psychological.
All right, hold tight, Ezra. I'm coming.
Oh no, I'm cool. I'm
Not the
cool.
perfect.
Over 8, and then as soon as that happens, I run back from the direction I came. Oh, wait, I know, I don't run. No, I fall back and I start crawling backwards slowly, with my eyes just watching them devour this cow.
The entire time you're hearing the sounds, and again, it's a combination of both these strings that are playing maddeningly so, getting intense every second that it's, in this moment, and the wailings of the poor cattle that got caught in all of this. And it is much for you, Ezra. And at this point, as you're dragging yourself back, you become paler than the snow around you. You feel the contents of your stomach swirling, and at this moment, you wish you did not have whatever this is. You did not want this.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I will say that Ezra, you'll find Caitlin as well as Clint kind of standing there, making their move, heading back towards the car.
We need to go. We need to go now. Now, run.
Ezra, all right. And yeah, I see the vomit down your clothes. And yeah, I'll go to you to make sure you're okay and you're not going to fall over as we run back to the car.
He seems remarkably lucid for all intents and purposes, just covered in vomit, and is just bolting towards the car.
And so, as this is going to be happening, let's go ahead and take a look at what Arthur and Bug are up to. So, Arthur and Bug, what is your plan for this travel phase? What are you going to be doing?
I'd say, first of all, Arthur would, check Charlotte if she's kind of sleepy and calm, if he's able to put her down and just lay her in the back to let her rest, or if he has to console her. I guess that'll make his first area of attention before discussing with Bug.
To be fair, I will say that since you have Charlotte and she is very much of needs, I will say that she is going to normally need at least 2 passengers to take up one of your supplies every upkeep. We're going to go ahead and say that she's going to add an additional, she'll count as 2 passengers because she is very needing of the people around her at this moment. And I think it's fair. And at this moment, we'll say that she has cried herself. And so at this point, she is just like lethargic, and she just kind of goes, and setting her down on the back seat, she kind of crumbles and just falls to sleep, just quietly.
take his vest off and just drape that over her, and then he'll quietly close the door and then move around to Bug and say, "Well, I think she's at least gonna rest for a little while if we want to try and get that console working. I gotta say that's the finest kind of driving I've seen in a long time. So I might have to put the reins over to you permanently driving like that."
Please don't. I've only been driving for a few years, technically.
Well,
But thanks.
apparently there's more for experience than time then.
Luck,
But,
I would say.
Anyway, these I've never had luck with these dials and sensors in this dash, so I'll kind of follow your lead on what we need to do.
Leave it to me. Take out my tinkering tools.
All right, that's going to be rig and repair stuff.
Yep.
You're going to be expending any components. So wait, and this original modification that you were doing to the car, that was to remove a con off the car?
Yes.
Broken sensors.
Okay. The broken sensors. All right. So you already have
Yes.
one slice filled out. It's a 4-slice clock. You're going to need to use one supply per individual. It takes the attempt. So if Bug is taking the attempt, it's going to be one supply. If Arthur's going to take the attempt, there'll be another supply in order to try to fix the car.
And that's
Okay.
what I was going to ask. Do I support her attempt in this case, or do we both take an attempt?
It depends on how you want to approach it. If you want to support her, I'll say that one supply is used, and then you'll just give her an additional die. If that sounds fair.
Absolutely.
I can also use a heroism point since I have
Hey.
2.
Hey, let it roll, Bug. I got faith.
Okay.
Like 19d6.
I'm at 66.
Let's go.
Okay.
Why is it that both Bug and Caitlin are the ones that are like, look, 66 guys, while everybody else is like, 1, yay.
Okay. It's not great, but it's 115 153.
All right, so that is going to give you one further advancement on the clock.
Okay. So that's 2 slices.
For some odd reason, Bug, this is exhausting you. It shouldn't take this long to fix this car, and yet somehow the rumors or the knowledge that this car is the aluminum Falcon is just kind of getting to your point where it's just like, all right, frustration is going to be the death of me on this car if I try to continue fixing it. But due to the fact that you believe in the others and that the others believe in you, you're probably going to press through. But it's getting to that point where it's just like, had this been any other car in any garage in any other point in time, you probably like, look, just sell it for $500 and call it a day. I mean, that's the best you can do with this car.
I would look very frustrated because this would normally be a piece of cake for me. I'd take my one of my multi-tools and be like, and then realize Charlotte's in the back sleeping and be like, look at you, Arthur, and just slowly
Say
put it
it's,
down.
It's been a journey. I don't think that it's well, hell, I'm not even sure it worked off the dealership. You know how those pre-owned cars are.
No, your car is great. No, that's my bad. I'm just a little stressed. It's not your
Well,
car. It's
Yeah, I mean,
actually,
guess-
I don't think it's me.
to be fair, I'm not even. This isn't even technical. Well, man, I guess it's our car now, but it was. Well, hell, I'm sure they're not around anymore. So, Bug, we'll just call it ours and move on with that. I think that's all we can do these days. And he'll look back over at Charlotte and he'll kind of just like he'll finish the sentence, but kind of drift off. Like that. You're not sure if Charlotte means more to him already, or if there's something else there that Charlotte means is as the symbol. The symbol known as Charlotte.
Well, that was funny.
So just letting you guys know, you guys still have one travel action you can still take. So you can do lie low, recover, resupply, work on a slow project, or work on the vehicle again. And again, we'll be following the same kind of steps for the work on the vehicle as well as resupply, depending on what you guys want to do with that.
I mean, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, Bug, do you want to see what we can scrounge up here, or do you want to give it a? Do you want me to? Well, I don't know if I recommend me taking a look at this more than 1,000 times. I already have, but if you want to take a look around here, see if there's anything we could use moving forward. Doesn't look like there's much.
Yeah, maybe we should help out with some of that. I don't think there's much else we can do with the car. Are you all right? I saw how you were with Charlotte. I know it can be a little... Well, Caitlin says stuff like this is difficult for people, and... Are you okay?
Yeah, Bug, I'm just trying not to... I don't know, maybe I'm just trying not to hope too much. That I can do the right thing for once.
Well, she's here. She's alive. I think you're doing pretty good.
Well, I'll task you with keeping me honest on that, if you don't mind. And then he'll kind of turn and walk and start to look around for anything he can find that's helpful.
All right, so you guys are going to be doing a resupply. There's going to be Bug and Arthur.
Yeah.
Resupply? Yes, we
You
can.
can do it. You can.
All right,
believe you.
go ahead, search and survey. This is for both of you.
Echo, turn off star B.
Do the heroism.
Echo, turn on
Yeah,
star
there's a
B.
heroism on
Echo,
this.
turn
I
off
can
star
actually
A.
roll it. Well, I mean, 4 and 2.
I got a 3.
So, Bug and Arthur, both of you kind of give up on trying to fix the car for now. You'll see that Bug drops the hood. And at this point, just like turns away from the car, just shaking her head. And at this moment, you're like, okay, you shrug. You're like, we need to try to find something. As you make your way towards the gas station, you're looking around, but quickly you're interrupted by the scene of Caitlin, Clint. Kind of, you'll see Clint wobbling as he's bringing in 3 jerry cans. You'll see that Caitlin is kind of like rushing over towards Ezra, and Ezra at this point is just dragging themselves, trying to like stand up at Caitlin's suggestion. You'll see that behind where Ezra's walking from, you're going to see this field, and out in the middle of the field, you guys will capture. You'll see like this beautiful bush, and the bush seems to have like these massive, like succulent-looking fruit growing on it. It just looks amazing at this moment. And both of you are kind of just going to get caught up in this. And I do apologize. The only thing I'm trying to say is that you guys did not really do well in this resupply, so you're not going to find anything.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
that was poetically done. I appreciate it, Atlas. It's very
Yes.
I was just saying, yeah. So if we're seeing it like that, and they look like this, even if there's the tree back there, they look like they're in, obviously, Ezra
Distress.
distressed, which is never a good sign for us in the given situation. But he'll see Clint, he'll just run over, he'll walk over and just grab him from Clint and just like, get him in the car, and then he'll turn and carry the cans to the back of the car himself.
So how hard would Ezra fight if I tried to swap out the shirt that he's wearing, the one soaked with the vomit?
No, he'd be fine. Like,
Okay, perfect.
He's probably trying to peel it off and digging through his shit too, and
Yeah, because if we keep that in with us, we're gonna smell it. Honestly, we might just have to leave it, because even if we keep it in the trunk, the smell is gonna start to permeate.
that is perfectly fine.
All right. We'll get you a new one, I promise. There's got to be a Brooks Brothers somewhere around here.
I don't know. I'm kind of into having just Ezra shirtless the rest of this campaign.
Oh my.
Not Brooks Brothers. What's the suiting place? Whatever. Men's Warehouse. We'll find one.
Men's Warehouse.
No, Ezra will like strip off a t-shirt. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Cows. We got cows. We got dead cows. We gotta go. We gotta go. No. Now. Go.
Cows. Steak?
No.
Bug, as
Yeah,
you look as you look behind Ezra to try to see those cows, you're going to see like a small herd of cows all the way in the opposite side of this massive field. But you're going to see those bushes, and you're going to see again that it has like these succulent red fruits growing off of it.
Yeah, when Ezra says cows, Caitlin freaks out and is like, "We have to go now.
Okay. What? Oh, okay.
Cows need tending, which means tenders. You know what they do to cattle thieves? They hang them. We gotta go."
Worse than that, but we gotta go. We gotta go. Explain in the car. We just gotta go. Oh my god. What have we stumbled into? Are we ready? Where is everybody? We're all here. Let's go. Let's go. No time for talking. Go. And he hops into the car.
So at this point, you're going to see that everybody begins to filter into the car. You're going to see that the jerry cans are placed in the back trunk. You're going to see that the rifle's put there as well. You guys begin to amble towards the car. Arthur taking driving point, I'm going to assume, or is it going to be Bug? It's a fight here between who owns the aluminum falcon.
Do you want to rock paper scissors or just alternate? I know you're probably tired.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors.
After all,
Rock, paper, scissors. Right, go for it.
in the middle of every tense moment. All right, just go.
Yeah. No, you.
It'll be great.
No, you. Just fucking try.
Do you want to roll a
But-
6 for it, or you want to do rock paper scissors on camera?
Rock, paper, scissors on camera. Rock, paper, scissors on camera.
Let's go.
On shoot. On shoot.
Yeah.
Or okay. Rock paper scissors shoot.
Scissors, shoot. Oh, no way. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
You gotta stop.
I am.
Rock,
Rock,
paper,
paper.
scissors shoot.
I am
way.
beside myself.
All right, Kaylin starts driving the car while you guys are debating this.
All right, I'm just gonna be the boss then and just take the keys and get in the car.
Yeah.
Let's go.
To be fair,
think-
we don't quite know the urgency.
I think I would love to point out at this point, as Arthur gets in the car and Bug gets in the shotgun, I'm just gonna like put my hands on the two insides of like the seat and put my head up into the front of the car and just give the dirtiest look to both of you. Sort this shit out, and then I'm gonna go back.
But yeah, and Arthur is definitely at some point gonna be like, "Wait, where's your shirt, Ezra?"
Soil.
The car begins to drive off, and at this point it kind of follows the road. You'll see that Ezra looks one last time out towards that field. And Ezra, what do you feel at this moment? Eventually you're going to tell your friends. Once you're able to actually conjure up the words and the thoughts and the emotions, what are you going to tell them? As you're passing by, you'll see that beautiful bush with the laden succulent red fruits. What do you say? What do you think? What is your emotion?
This is going to be really kind of twisted and weird, everyone. I apologize, but Ezra looks hungry.
That's definitely an answer.
Well, my
Understandable.
thought process is he's psychically linking with these aliens and they're feeding. He's going to be, he's like hungry, satiated, like almost where he can taste the blood in his mouth. But what is disturbing and what made him throw up is that it wasn't as gross as it should have been.
All right, so we know who to turn on immediately when things go south.
Yep.
But
Sorry, Ezra.
as the car continues to go along the road, bypassing several other junk cars that were left to their doom and demise off on the side of the road, we're actually going to move away from the caravan just momentarily. We're actually going to peer upon another road. And this one, you're going to see a person walking along the side of the road, their thumb held out as they're trying to find a ride. You'll see that this person is somewhere perhaps about 5'4", 5'5", around that height. They're covered fairly well in coats. They have a little beanie. You'll see that hair comes out from underneath, and they have a backpack. And when they turn, you're going to see this young woman. She has bright blue eyes, and she is basically just looking for any sort of ride to continue on. At this point, we are going to then be taking a break. It is 9:30.
Very good.
Awesome.
That over. And we should be back momentarily. We are back, everyone. Hello.
Awesome. Welcome back. Hopefully you guys did not miss us too much, but the story will continue. The car drives upon the roads within Weird Virginia. At this point, things are not going to be exactly as you expect them. But at the end of the world, who knows? What do you expect? The road at this point continues moving forward, following a path just to the south of the Appalachian Mountains, giving you guys a basically like subtle terrain to be able to navigate the car without too much incident. Here and there, you'll see the mountains rising off towards your right-hand side, and off to your left-hand side of the vehicle, you'll see sometimes ridges kind of appearing. Trees gathering, snow falling, and for the most part, for what seems like hours, everything seems basically the same. No real difference. At this point, you can feel who's ever driving, which I assume at this point is going to be Arthur, you're going to just feel that weariness of driving. Charlotte, throughout the journey, coughs up every now and then, and you hear her calling out wailfully for her mother and father. But again, there's really no answer that can be given to console this child. At this point, you're going to see. I do apologize, Arthur. This is going to be, at first, you're going to see something that momentarily, like, you kind of have to, like, relegate whether it's true or not. And what that is this, you've seen elk before. Has Arthur ever hunted? Has Arthur ever gone on a hunt?
Sure. I mean, more moose, but I mean, he would know what elk is, yeah.
Okay, excellent. At this point, as the car is moving along, you're going to see, just off to your left-hand side, you're going to see this almost opening, this clearing where the snow is deep, it's pristine, nothing has touched it, trees don't grow there. And you're going to just kind of take a look, almost as though your peripheral is taking your vision, claiming it for just that instantaneous moment. You're going to see this massive elk-like creature stumbling forward, making a path through the snow. The thing about it is that elk, 8 feet, 7 feet, maybe at the shoulders, 6 feet, maybe at the shoulders. This thing is standing, it's towering some 48 feet or so. This is huge. And at this moment, as you look, again, you're just caught by sheer surprise at this massive thing. Arthur, you turn your attention back to driving. You turn your attention to your companions. What do you say? What do you do?
I would say, first, my question, depending on how he would kind of react to the whole situation, did Ezra also describe to us in our journey what actually happened?
As long as Charlotte was asleep, yes.
So yeah, I mean, in that case, he would have already kind of gone from, taking that chance of trying to kind of show Bug that kind of jovial side, not understanding what was really going on, and then finding that out, he would have like went into already kind of like weary and almost like depressed mode. Like that put him back into like regret and I failed again mode. Like I allowed myself this moment of, kind of connection and happiness of my own peace, and it was at the cost of others again. And so he was kind of been like down. If anybody was talking to him, he just kind of does like the grunt, and I'm sure it's like things that Clint would kind of recognize, that he's in a different zone that's back to not being good. So when he's looks out there and kind of sees that, he has that hesitation of mistrust, and then he would just turn to Ezra and be like, Ezra, do you feel anything right now?
Do I, Jordan?
Go ahead and do harmonize with alien stuff for me.
You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And he would kind of keep like looking out to see if he's still like seeing it, if it's still there before while waiting for the response.
5, 4, 2, 1.
So with that 5, well, first off, Arthur, you turn your attention back off to the side, and as you look, you see nothing. This massive creature that just stood there momentarily trudging through the snow is seemingly gone. And yet, as you look, trying to get a hint as to what could be out there, you'll see that there's tracks in the snow, and it's just again monstrous tracks. But again, it just seems as though it's just it was there. It's gone. At this point, Ezra,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to come to terms with what's going on here. And again, at this point, you begin to hear almost a sound of a horn, but it's low, rumbling. The horn just doesn't want to reach its melodic peak. It's just kind of just kept at a low tone, almost threatening if you came to terms with that. Arthur, do for me a drive check.
Arthur, you need to be careful and be ready to peel out of here, I think. Something's not right.
Okay, we're still driving along, right? Are we like, we're still in motion?
Yeah, the car's still moving forward.
All right, 651. Yeah, I get 3. Okay. Thought I rolled an
Arthur.
extra, but I'm good. I have 2 dots, so yeah.
Excellent. You look out through the window. You don't see the massive beast anymore. You're almost confused. You're trying to understand if maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. What is going on? You're not in the right mind space.
He'd be kind of rubbing his eyes and like trying to be like, in that state of like, God, am I tired? Like, you know, when you're in that driving mode where you've been driving for a while and you're trying to tell yourself you're not tired, but then really introspect to be like, hey, okay, am I exhausted that I'm seeing shit now? Like,
Who is sitting within the passenger seat at this moment?
I think it's Bug.
I can-
probably
yeah.
Bug.
Bug. Are you looking out through the front windshield? Or are you tinkering with some item? I will leave it to you to decide.
I want to say, yeah, she's looking out the front windshield.
It almost comes upon you by sheer surprise because you barely saw it, as Arthur has just been speeding up constantly. And you'll notice that he's kind of like looking out the window, turns to Ezra, says something,
Yeah.
looks back out the window. He's not really paying attention. His foot is becoming a little bit more leaded and heavy. He's hitting the gas. The car is pushing far harder than it necessarily needs to. And right before you, you're going to notice an individual, like several individuals, actually standing out in the middle of the road. At this point, they're holding up their hands, telling you to just stop.
I'll put my hand out towards Arthur and just be like, "Whoa, do you see that?"
Arthur, you're going to slam on the brakes. The car begins to careen slowly. You hear a high-pitched sound of your tires trying, aching to grasp at the ground, but at this moment trying to, flying at the same time. And maneuvering as best as possible, you bring a car to a jolting stop, kind of tossing people inside the car around. At this point, you're going to see 3 individuals, all of them wearing what looks like camo outfits, looking almost like they're part of the snow. They walk up towards the car, and quickly they tell you, they just show this, and they go ahead and do.
they'll turn the car off.
You'll see that they stand there. They have armaments on them, rifles and guns, and for the most part, they just go ahead and just hold up a hand. In the next instance, all of you are going to feel this trembling, as from that field, you'll see almost like as soon as it turns, catching the little bit rays of sunlight coming through the clouds, you'll see this thing materialize once more, and it begins to cross the road. You're going to see this massive elk-looking like creature. The thing is covered. It has this full-on mane of hair, or at least what you think to be hair. You're going to see eyes covering it, kind of looking around, all around it. This massive thing is just going to trod in front of the car momentarily. It stops, sniffing at the air. In the next instance, it continues moving forward slowly as it makes its way across into the adjacent field, heading up towards the mountains. You'll see that these people stand there quietly, just waiting for this thing to pass after what seems like forever. one of the people approaches the car and taps the driver's side of the car and taps the window.
I thought we'll roll it down like enough for talk, but not like all the way down.
You'll see that the person goes ahead, removes the scarf that's covering their mouth, kind of showing you their mouthpiece, and you're going to hear a voice that's just like, "Wooey, that was a close one. You have no idea what you just trampled into."
Assure you that I was taking too damn long to convince myself it was even real. So, what the hell was that?
That thing, well, we call it the antler. But that monstrosity will attack anyone as soon as it hears it or sees it. Thankfully, it didn't catch wind of you.
Well, whatever you want to call it, I suppose I owe you a thanks for being willing to stand in the middle of the road.
Well, we was just tracking it. We heard the car coming down the road, and we just decided we needed to do something. It wouldn't be proper and unkind if you all get, squished by that thing. Now, I will suggest, though, you might want to make yourself as scarce as possible. That thing may come back. It has a temperament.
Tracking it.
Do you, does Bug say that?
Yes.
Which Arthur will kind of catch, and then they'll say, well, if you've been tracking it, then you must know a little bit. Is it gonna be attracted to us taking off further down the road, or is there any other surprises you know about up ahead?
You'll see that this person looks at you and lets out the longest whistle, which I'm not even going to try to imitate at this moment. At this point, they just stand there. They would slap their knee and just be like, "You haven't seen nothing yet." Well, if you want, why don't you folks come down with us? Be happy to show you to our shelter. Hopefully you can find some food and, relax a little bit. Just, I would say, tread carefully. Things are quite dangerous here.
At this point, Clint has been in the back the whole time with his hoodie up, pretending like he was asleep the whole time. But in reality, I've been listening and using my judge of character trait. And at this point, as a request has been made, are they being honest? No roll required. Okay.
Yes, you feel that these people have good intentions.
Okay. And at this point, Clint is going to pretend like he has been jolted awake, even though the car just recently came to a screeching halt. This is going to be the point where he
Reacts.
Breakfast already? Oh, gentlemen, and at I'm gonna being used to the army sort of folk, I'm gonna get out of the car. I'm gonna step out of the car, and slide a wink to Arthur, to let him know that it's on right now.
And he was already suppressing an eye roll as soon as you did your jolt awake bit.
Yeah. He's gonna step out of the car. He's gonna keep his hands up because he is armed, but he has the press badge on his chest, which normally gets him can get him pretty far into conversations. And he's gonna whip out his notebook and he's gonna say, "Clint McCarthy, Associated Press, gentlemen, it is a pleasure to see some of the United States finest guarding this. I appreciate everything that you've done for us. Tell me, what are your names? So I can get them for the record."
You see that the person that's standing closest to the window that was actually interacting with Arthur at this point just lets out this laugh. And it's just like, "Aren't you just the sweetest little honeybee out there? You sure do know how to make a woman whirl." And you'll see that she goes ahead, lifts up her goggles, and you'll see this rosy face, kind of looks like it's been sunburned again due to the sun, due to the reflection of light on the snow. She kind of looks at you for a moment. She goes, "Well, you can call me Rosemary Watts." And these here boys are my companions, Lee and Vernon. But
And
come
I
on.
assume, and I assume that you are the one in charge of this operation.
Not at all. But I'm just in charge of this momentary crew. But I will suggest if you want to continue talking and we can share it over a couple of drinks, I suggest we make our way away from here. You don't want that. You don't want the antler to come back.
Well, don't threaten me with a good time. Let me get my
I,
compatriots together. Oh, I have to ask, do you have any medical supplies?
I can sure see what we can rummage up. Might be able to
Oh,
find a few things. Nothing sophisticated or fancy, though.
no, I don't think we need much. Just a little. We have one of our passengers that's come down with a little bit of something. Nothing too serious. But you know what? Let me get the group rounded up, and we'll see you at the bar.
You see at this point that she goes ahead and she will produce a map. And on the map, you're going to see, like, from where you're at, she points and then she kind of leads you towards where their compound would be. At this point, you're going to see that you're going to have to trace some mileage back, like, a good short distance back, take an off road, and this will lead you to where they house themselves. At this point, you'll see that a lot of them start moving back towards the road, covering themselves up. Rosemary, you'll see, covers her face up. And with that, they jump onto these ski mobiles and they begin making
Oh,
like
sick.
pats back towards up the Appalachian Mountain route, kind of heading towards that direction where the compound would be. You guys will definitely be able to follow it very easily. It's not even difficult enough, and I won't have you roll for it. But
As we're in the
Kinda
oh, go
car,
ahead.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, first, I think order of operations first. As a group, do we just murder all three of them and take the snowmobiles?
all Ezra
I mean-
says is well,
I don't actually say
they're
that.
either gonna feed us or we're the food. Either way,
Right.
it'll be fine.
Well, whatever they're saying, it's pretty honest. They seem honest to me. I think we can trust them.
I wanted to say that the first time you jumped out, Clint, my visor would be down and I would be doing like eyebrows, trying to communicate with Caitlin and Ezra in the back. Like, what's going on? Do we trust them? Like,
Yeah, and I think I have Charlotte at this point, and as soon as we saw people, her big hoodie went over Charlotte's head to just try to hide her as much as possible. And so yeah, Bug, you've been feeling Caitlin's hand on your arm. And I think when Clint says, I think they're trustworthy, Caitlin can't help herself. The words leap out of her throat. Is that before or after they offered you a drink?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Makes perfect sense to me. Let's just say this, and it's an elbow on the window, and it's a stare down at Caitlin at this moment. It's not mad. It's not like a hard, cold stare, but it is devoid of the normal kind of playful, jovial nature of that Clint usually has. He makes eye contact with you and says, "It was before, and you're gonna have to get used to me being a good judge of character."
All right.
The kid is the most important thing in this car, and I would
I know.
never put that kid in danger. Besides, if they wanted our car and they wanted us dead, the antler would be crushing us as we speak. Okay? Yeah, and I'm gonna wait for you to make I'm watching you kind of look away, and I'm waiting for you to make that eye contact with me again and acknowledge what I'm saying.
I know Charlotte's the most important thing.
Splendid. That's what we like to call an agreement. I'm gonna slap the aluminum falcon. Get in the car.
And yeah, Bug, you feel her hand just gripping you so tight.
Hey, Caitlin, do you have any paper and a pen?
Your bag's in the trunk this rotation. I'm sorry. I do have it. It's in there. What do you need?
Well, I got to thinking about it the past hour or so, and I want to see if I could figure out how to play with those bird bat things we're singing.
Oh, yeah. Heck, maybe they got a piano.
I got the guitar.
I have some paper and a pencil.
Do you mind?
Not at all. And I'm going to hand you the book. But as I hand you the book, I'm going to ask you a question. Upon getting handed this notebook so casually, because I don't think twice about it, do you only write what you're going to write and do your work, or do you flip through any of the other pages?
I think he flips through it till he finds a blank page. Then he probably rips 2 or 3 pages out, and then hands you the journal back.
Okay. I think Clint can't help himself but make an audible. He's gonna look down at his book and he's gonna look back up at you and goes, "Yeah, okay. You could have just wrote in it, you know."
But then I'd have to be in your journal to access my work.
Yeah, well, you could have done the. You know what? It's semantics. It's fine. And by the way, you're already in that book. Flash a little wink.
I'm married.
Why is it that? Is it my charming demeanor or my smooth conversational skills that give you the the impression that had to be of a sexual nature? It's really curious. Tell me more.
Apparently, so were you. It was the wink.
Oh, was it the wink?
It was the wink.
Well, you don't have to worry about a thing.
And Ezra actually cracked a smile at that one. But
yeah,
if things keep on as they're going, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
you would hear Arthur under his breath. He would say, "I keep telling you that. But listen, it's always just talk."
Yeah. You don't have to worry, Ezra. Arthur's more my type, and I'm going to slap him on the shoulder hard and then just kind of settle back in the car.
I don't know if I should be complimented or offended as he starts, transposing some, chords and stuff.
Is Ezra still shirtless?
I assume we had a shirt or something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's cold.
You said you told the story, but not put your shirt on. I don't...
Yeah. Yeah, the devil's in the details, friends. The devil is in the details.
I presumably he has a shirt on, or at least like an undershirt or something.
Just for, I was going to ask, just for funsies, what's on the shirt?
I mean, I'm here logically thinking this is winter. You guys are bitter and cold, and this dude's just with a shirt or shirtless, which is to me just like.
Well, I mean, I have a jacket, so it probably has. He probably took off his sweater or something and has a long sleeve just thermal shirt on or something. Realistically speaking.
All right. So how does it fit? How does it fit upon all of you that these individuals are telling you, kind of pointing the direction towards their compound and letting you know that there is safety to be found there? Again, you'll see that Clint kind of vouches for them, stating that he does not feel any ulterior motives or ill intentions from these people.
I think that Arthur is definitely gonna trust it. He knows that. He's been around it enough to himself trust the character, but also still be on edge just because the people we've met may be trustworthy, but we don't know. She did say she's not the one in charge, so we don't know what's behind that. So he's still on guard there, especially with Charlotte. And he would have even kind of, narrowed his eyes into the rearview mirror when he heard the interaction with Clint and Caitlin, just knowing the vibe, the switch isn't in his behavior, and sometimes in the mode that he was going into, to see you've never seen him cross the line, but he's, you're always wondering if that line ever is crossed in those situations. So it was just, that moment of watching the situation, just going back to, focusing on what was happening at hand and him needing to drive to the compound.
Yeah, Bug is also glaring a little bit because she did not like that he might have scared Caitlin. So she's glaring at you and she'll say, um, even if they'd let the antlers take us, like it doesn't make any sense that they let the antlers take us because that would have ruined the car, So maybe that is what they want. They want to just get rid of us, have another vehicle for their little entourage. We gotta be careful here.
Yeah. I know that they're being honest, but I'm also not going to be so blind as to completely trust them. We'll see how far going there is about as close as I'm willing to get. After that, all bets are off.
We need to have a plan
Those
for a quick escape if it
three,
goes south.
those three were being honest. For the rest of them, I don't know. That we'll see. But they say they have medical supplies. They
They
might
do.
be able to help Charlotte. And it's a risk I'm willing to take. Not to mention all three of them are armed with high-powered rifles.
All right. And so at this point, everybody is in agreement to continue following them.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yes.
To clarify,
Arthur, you pitch the car around and you begin to follow that path, that trail that the map leads to. At this point, you'll see the turn off, a small dirt road that kind of winds up the route of the Appalachian Mountains to this extent. At this point, as you're looking at the map, you're realizing that there's not really much else to go. Like, this path isn't even on the map itself. So you have no idea where you're going. You're just hoping that this leads somewhere. But at the same time, you become cautious. You're not one to, again, brazenly just throw yourselves where you're going to be at a disadvantage. But at this moment, it feels like it. As you are driving, there are certain points where the ledges kind of off on the side, kind of, again, the car is just careening off a small path, and you'll see that there's like a definite drop where if the car were to fall, it would definitely end tragically for all of you. But you keep your wits about you and you follow that path as best as possible. Eventually, you're going to see that the path kind of ends. You're going to see these outcropping of trees. You're going to see like this flat surface. Again, not paved, doesn't have anything, but you're going to notice something immediately. There are several vehicles lined here. You're going to see that the snowmobiles are off to one side, and you're going to see that one of the gentlemen, the person that you feel confidently is known as Vernon, just kind of standing there, and he's directing you to park the car.
I reckon we back in.
yeah, Arthur would absolutely back in versus
Yeah.
driving in directly.
As soon as you guys get out, you'll see that Vernon removes his attire as well, his headdress specifically, allowing the cold to kind of wash over him. And you're going to see that he offers this bright smile to you. He has dark hair, dark eyes, and he looks at you for a moment and he's just like, you have to understand, Rosemary, she is a kind one. She has a very deep heart, loves everybody. But if we so much get a whiff of trouble from the lot of you, well, my hospitality don't run so deep. I want you to understand that. I'm not going to ask you to take away your guns. I'm not going to ask you to feel defenseless. Just understand, if you bring any trouble, you're going to be walking into trouble.
I got no problem with that. And I'm going to catch Bug's eyes in her little rear view mirror. And my eyes are going to say, maybe leave the grenade.
She just rolls her eyes at you.
You'll see that Vernon stands there waiting for all of you to get yourselves readied. At this point, let me know once you guys are ready, as you guys will be led into the town by, or to the compound by Vernon.
Ezra will actually take his guitar with that too. I know it
All
sounds
right.
strange,
Ezra
but
would.
like, figure maybe trade entertainment for food or something. Have something to barter with in some capacity.
All right, excellent. Everybody else good to go?
Yeah, I said Arthur would go around and reach for Charlotte and then kind of just put her on his back. Unless you were still hiding. I don't know ask what that situation looks like.
I think I'm anticipating you coming around. Caitlin, I think you guys, it hasn't been that long, but you've noticed she doesn't really interact with Charlotte that much. This was kind of a first time thing to be holding her. And right before you, or as you're reaching for her, Caitlin locks eyes with you. Do you want to keep your hands free?
Well, I think it'd be safer to, and he'll try to talk low. I think it'd be safer to you be ready to take her, but it might make them more comfortable if she's in with me. Let them be a little bit more calm about the situation and a little bit more hospitable if I seem less, well, like I do.
You're right. Okay. And then I'll hand her off to you.
You'll see, Caitlin, as you embrace Charlotte, you'll see that for a moment, Charlotte has not been doing well. Not physically, but more emotionally. She is still kind of estranged to everything that's happening. And at this moment, she will at times cry out for her mother and her father, who are never to come back. And at this point, it hits that heart chord with you. But as you go to reach for her, you'll see that Caitlin kind of looks at you, and you see her, these pure blue, pale blue eyes just looking at you for a moment. And then she goes ahead, turns and coughs. But she allows her head to just rest on your shoulder as you're embracing her at this moment.
All right, Charlotte, we it's not exactly a party, but hopefully we'll make you feel better.
And with that, all of you are ready to follow. Vernon takes a few first steps, and then he stops, turns back towards each and every one of you, looking towards the group, and he says, "Now, let me just say this straight. As you follow, don't touch anything off of the trail. You see something, you leave it alone. Don't touch it. You understand?" And you see that he looks at each and every one of you, kind of repeating this over and over until everybody understands. All right. You'll see that Vernon starts taking off. And there's a mountain of man. He just starts walking off. You'll see that the trail has been laden with wood to kind of differentiate where to step. And eventually, at one point, you're going to see that the wood actually combines together to create like a small bridge. And the bridge is just off of the ground about a foot or so. And you see it kind of moving around the trees and the tree trunks. At one point, as Vernon is walking, Ezra, you begin to hear that music again.
I knew I should have asked. It was in the back of my mind as Caitlin, but it was too early to say alien. Dang it.
You will begin to hear that music again. But this is not a cacophony. This is not an overwhelming sound. This is just this almost like, again, things in harmony. You don't understand what the music is saying. You don't understand if there are words hidden within that music, but you feel the emotion seems to be relaxed. And as this overwhelming sensation comes over you, the rest of you, who's ever in the lead, you're going to turn along this path, and looking forward, you're going to see greenery. You're going to see trees that are standing tall and purple. You're going to see grasses that are growing and flowering. And you're going to see these odd little creatures flittering about that you have never seen before. You'll see that Vernon stops momentarily and says, I know you're probably just surprised as I was when I first came across this. This is one of the reasons why they call this place the Weird Virginias. At this moment, you are taking it in. You'll see that snowfall no longer, snow's still falling, but it just doesn't last long in this location. You'll feel the humidity kind of pick up. You're going to see all these animals, these things that again, you would have never considered seeing before in your life. You're going to see what looks like little ammonites or little squids kind of moving around the ground, acting like almost like rabbits. You're going to see these little birds or bird-like creatures that have these long noses, kind of jittering about and flying, almost like hummingbirds. You're going to see these almost reptilian creatures with multiple limbs, kind of climbing up the trees. You're going to see these big, beautiful purple trees and trees of other colors as well, slender, tall. Some are thick and large. You're going to see some trees that have multiple coloration on the bark. And the entire time, Vernon just is walking by, and he's just like, make sure you don't stray off the path.
Now, Vernon, you got to tell me, what's the story with this? This is fascinating.
Some shit just fell out of the sky, landed here, and this is it.
Some shit. That sounds quite the technical term.
That's as technical as I'm going to get.
Was it alien tech? Was it a meteorite?
You saw them giant cocoons that fell in the major cities?
And I think that really, like, Clint hasn't thought about that for a while. And upon hearing that, he's going to pause, almost like to the point where the people, because he has taken the lead, the people in the back almost bump into him. And he goes, yeah, and continues walking.
Vernon says nothing, but you're going to see that the platform begins to rise up. Like now there's wooden stairs leading upwards to grasp at the elevation of the ridge as you're coming up to the top. And at this point, you're going to see now kind of over this little, over this ridge, you're going to see these plants, again, purple plants of all colors and whatnot. And looking beyond in the distance, you're going to see the Appalachian Mountains, and there you're going to see this structure, this roundish structure off in the distance. You're going to see that here everything is verdant and green. Well, green is not the word I would use. Purple, again, colorful. It's verdant. It's alive. Snow doesn't seem to have any hold, or winter doesn't seem to have any hold upon this section of the world as far as you can tell. With that, you'll see that Vernon goes ahead and points it out towards you. And he says, one of them things fell right over there. But you see it off in the distance. You'll see like other mountain ridges just right in between, kind of demonstrating how far away it is. This is miles. And you'll see that all this area is just kind of taken over by this alien vegetation and fauna and flora. You'll see that Vernon goes ahead and points down, and you'll see the compound, which are 3 buildings put together, kind of off of right in the midst of this valley. One of them is on stilts, kind of the larger of the 3 buildings, and then 2 other smaller buildings. And you're going to see that a network of steps and platforms have been made or crafted in order to allow people to traverse and walk to and fro from them. At this point, you're going to see that there's a lot of strung lights above, kind of demonstrating the fact that they have some electricity, some form of electricity. And you'll see that Vernon says, well, I guess I should be the first to welcome you to Barrelford.
How have you managed to survive?
With that, he looks at you for a moment, and he's just like, he just offers this toothy smile, and he's just like, the truth is, the folk here, we're all moonshiners. We know how to live off the grid. We could have outlasted whatever happened, well, to the world. Just this stuff here. And he points just at this, again, this forestation that is around you, that is alien and strange. Now follow me. I'm going to take you over to Rosemary, and I want you to meet a few of the people. And so with that, you guys are going to be taken towards this compound, towards one of the three buildings. You're going to notice it's going to be the larger of the three. You'll notice that several people kind of walk by. At the moment that they see you as a crowd, they kind of stop and look at you. For the most part, they're both caught by surprise, but at the same time, they don't seem reluctant or frustrated at your presence. More so, it's just kind of like, oh, strangers. And at this point, you'll see them working on their task. You're going to see that some of them are taking care of distilleries. They're moonshiners. And you're going to see that others are going to be taking care of trying to remove some of the foliage that is trying to encroach upon what is their little compound area. At this point, as you're being led towards the largest of the building, you'll see that the building, the door, it's the massive hanging door, kind of just opens up to the side. And you'll see that you'll hear Rosemary kind of call out, and she goes, "Woo-wee, look, they're finally here. Vernon, I hope you gave them the nicest tour ever. These fine folks seem so tired, and look at them. Ah, come. Let me show you around." And as you walk in, you'll see the operation. Basically, they have storage. You'll see crates and items kind of kept in several locations. You'll see cots being set up. Several individuals in the cots. Some of them seem a little hurt. You'll notice that one individual, Rosemary, kind of beelines it towards. And she comes on. She's just like, Ghetto, these fine folk. At this point, you'll see that Rosemary puts an arm on Gatto, and Gatto turns towards you. She is an elderly looking woman. Her hair is kept back in a pristine kind of, like tied back. It looks almost pristine. And at this moment, she waves an aging hand towards you, and she just like, I didn't expect more fine folk to find themselves here within Barrowford. Now, what are you youngins doing out there?
Head west, actually.
Trying to find a soft place to land.
Well, you're more than welcome to stay here. This used to be a science refuge for myself and my crew. I happen to find moonshiners here as well. They tend to roam in this area before the war. You're more than welcome to stay. More than welcome to some of our resources. Just again, be kind.
Thank you.
Should be- Go ahead.
I say Arthur would just straight up ask, do you have anything in the form of medicine, especially for a cough?
She looks at you and you see like her graying eyes kind of like turn towards you, and she's just like, just a simple cough. I got something for that.
Well, I mean, if anyone knows a little bit more about coughs, I don't think it would hurt to take a further listen. I don't know, be able to speak how simple things are when it comes to that, or kids, unfortunately. But she does get pretty it gets pretty bad, and the fits get almost too much for her to handle, it seems.
Yeah. Just dug deep in the lungs and can't make steam. Can't wait around long enough for it.
You'll see that Gatto turns over towards Caitlin and puts the kindest eyes ever on Caitlin. And at this point, she lifts up her hand. She's like, do you mind if I hold you just for a moment?
And Caitlin will look to Arthur, who has Charlotte on his back, and I think she's got her hand on Charlotte's back, and will look up at you.
He'll bring her around and hold her out so she can be looked at. He's kind of hesitant to hand her over, but he'll hold her out in his arms, strong arms, and have her outward like that, almost kind of cradled outward.
You'll see this elderly woman go ahead and grasp at Charlotte. Charlotte begins to cough profusely, and at this moment she's like, don't worry, child, you're fine. Just let it out. Let the air out. and you'll see that she'll tap Charlotte on the back and then just kind of stroll off towards where you see like an array of tables. And again, this kind of leads the belief that this was at some point some scientific research outpost, as there's several tables kind of there, and you'll see like medicine cabinets and things like that. And she's just like, it take me just a moment. Let's see what you got, young girl. Just make sure you're okay. And she sets down Charlotte on the table. At the interim, you'll see that Rosemary kind of looks back towards all of you, and she's just like, "So, while Gatto is doing that, what you all looking to do? It seems like you're on your way with such a hurry. You almost missed hitting that the antler."
Like I said, we were traveling west. Our business is our own. You understand that.
I'm looking for a young woman named Harriet. She's a couple years younger than me, mid-20s, and I describe Albert's daughter, Harriet, to her.
Caitlin, do a talk it out.
All right. Okay, that's 3d6. Highest is a 4.
You're going to see that Rosemary comes out, and she looks at it, looks at the the pendant for a moment, hears your story. She goes ahead, lets out a whistle, and she looks at you for a moment, and she's just like, since you're all about your business, I don't want to intrude, and I don't want to say anything unforwardly of myself. Now, if you'd like, I'd be more than happy. I might have catched a whiff of where this individual may have been or may have been seen, but again, it's going to cost you.
I don't understand.
I guess it's price, especially in the end of the world, right?
We're not asking for much, at least I'm not. A trifle, if you will, really.
And what would a trifle be to you?
With the 4 that Caitlin rolled, I'm going to say that is going to be 1 supply and 1 fuel.
Ezra just looks to Caitlin like it's her decision.
And the medicine, does that cost 2?
You'll see that Rosemary just looks over towards Arthur with this massive grin, and she's like, I have no handling on that. That'd be Mistress Gatto. She's the one that take care of that poor young child. You understand?
He'll just nod, and he'll actually walk. I don't know. Did she walk like further away, or like into an area with Charlotte? Because wherever Charlotte is, he'll walk over and like either lean against the wall or still give the lady space to take care of Charlotte, but he'll just make it pretty clear that if anybody else is going anywhere, he's not leaving Charlotte just by herself with people they just met.
Oh no, at this point I will say that Arthur, at least to your easement, you walk over towards this, again, to where she is kind of looking over Charlotte, getting a diagnosis. You'll see that Gatto, again, she's dressed in what would have been like a old lab coat. She goes ahead, she pulls out, she pulls out like a few little instruments that she's then going to be checking and looking over, probably like a stethoscope, going to be checking out Charlotte. And at this point, you'll see that Charlotte, she seems scared, but Gatto is trying to do everything that she can in order to try to ease her. So she'll make little jokes, and she'll be like, look, if you listen to this, you can hear the world. Put it up to your ear. Look, listen. And at that point, like, she tries to make it a little bit more amusing and fun for Charlotte during this exchange.
Atlas, is Gatto being honest about knowing where Harriet is?
Gatto is not the person that we're asking that.
Sorry.
We're asking Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Yeah, gotcha.
Rosemary seems honest.
Suppose that Well, Arthur, your kid, one you care about, I say it's up to you.
For what? I'm sorry. I think I got.
This individual is offering us information about Harriet.
Yeah.
He wants one fuel and one supply for the information. He's
Oh,
being
you're just asking for your. I got.
Yeah, yeah, he's
asking
being
Arthur if
he's
if he's
yeah.
good with the deal. I see what you're saying. I thought.
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
So you said the kid, and I was like, wait, Charlotte was. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Backtracking. No, you're good. Yeah, I mean Arthur would just. I mean he would just nod to Caitlin, and then, still continue to kind of just watch and, like you said, be at ease that Charlotte's at least being taken care of with a kindness for sure, but still just kind of watching and seeing if, obviously, hopeful improvement. Like he knows there's not going to be improvement immediately, but there's just that hope of even getting looked at that there's going to be at least good news of some sort. So he's kind of engaged with that, but he nods it towards Caitlin just to be like, that's, give it the Clint would notice that I'm okay with it. Just whatever is decided. If it's worth it, then I'll trust that it's worth it.
Yeah, I think the embarrassment that Caitlin is sitting in, these people went from offering us supplies to now demanding them. I think the pain of that switch is too much for her, and she says, I can work and I can earn, but I'm not gonna give our things to people who offered us hospitality 2 seconds ago. I can't do it. I should never have said anything stupid. And she starts to get very worked up and goes quiet.
Ezra will stand next to Caitlin at that point and put his hand on her shoulder and kind of lean over and whisper, "Take a breath. Gotta keep cool here. We don't know what these people are like, and we don't know what they'll be like if they freak out."
At least we're learning, right? And she squeezes your hand to try to take whatever comfort she can that you're trying to offer.
Just remember, Caitlin, it's all playground politics. It never changes.
You're right.
You'll see at this point that Rosemary kind of smiles towards the group, specifically towards Caitlin, and she goes, "Ah, did I upset you with that? Don't worry, young child. I'll make sure I can make it up to you. Hold on." And with that, she kind of, you'll see her walk over towards one of the crates. She goes ahead, pulls out from inside 2 jugs, and you're going to see the de facto moonshine jug as she walks over, and she's just like, "Here you go. That should make you feel right as rain just after you take a few drinks." With that, Arthur, you're going to see that Gatto is looking over Charlotte. It takes a little bit of time as all of this is kind of playing out, and you're going to see eventually that Gatto comes out, and she's just like, "Well, the good news is this young child isn't one to be lost just yet. She seems to be quite intelligent. Have you been testing her out? She has a great IQ. She could become a scientist one day." She kind of looks over towards Charlotte, and she goes, "Now, what was 1 + 1 again?" And you'll see that Charlotte kind of squeals and says, "2." And you'll see that she goes ahead and Gato kind of laughs. And at this point, she goes, "See that? You got a smart child on your hands. Now, the good thing is, I do have the medication that can save her. And she'll be fine. Just a few antibiotics she'll have to take daily for about a week or so. And I think she'll be right as rain." And you'll see that Gato goes ahead. You'll see she turns walks over towards the cabinets behind the bed, the middle bed, and she goes ahead, kind of fumbles around with some of the medication. She walks back and she goes ahead and hands it over towards you, and she says, "You just make sure you take care of that sunshine, that little rise of sun."
We'll take it. He said, "Well, if that's the deal, then you have my word. It would take everything I can to make it right. That promise is already made."
You'll see that Gato goes ahead and smiles at you for a moment, Arthur, as she just like looks over you. You'll see that, again, her leathery face, just old and ancient, her gray eyes falling upon you, and she's just like, "You know, an oath back in the day was something that one could place a bet on. Oaths had meaning back in the day. I don't know if in the end of the world they still do, but be wary of those words, boy. That oath is going to keep you."
For anybody that's bet on me in the past, but it's just something I do aim to keep at this part of the line. And if I've ever lost you money, then, well, I do apologize.
Arthur, before you finish off that statement, you're going to hear commotion coming from the entrance. You're going to hear the thick foot of boots hitting the ground, moving in towards the building. At this point, the tension rises. You're going to see that Rosemary kind of whips around to look towards the entrance, setting down the bottles of moonshine towards you guys. At this moment, everybody kind of looks, and you're going to see that a contingent of individuals begin to wander in. These people are wearing heavy leather cloaks and coats, and you see that they stand in. You're going to see that the one leading them is this man about 5'10", dark hair, dark eyes. You're going to see that he has a scar running down the left side of his face, and you're going to see a dark beard as well. At this point, he goes ahead and points with a gloved hand towards the rest of his crew. You'll see that the crew brings in several bodies, some of them mangled to the point that they're just dead, dragging them onto the beds. You're going to see one of the guys falling onto the bed, his leg completely crushed. This guy yells out, "Gato! Get your hairy ass out here!" You'll see that Gato kind of turns towards you, Arthur, and looks over towards the entrance. And for a moment, you're going to see whatever pleasantry she had on her face is washed away. At this point, she looks over towards the entrance, and she begins to approach. Rosemary tries to interject. At this moment, you'll see Rosemary be like, "What do you think you're doing here, John? Get your hairy ass." And you'll see that John goes ahead and just says, "Shut up! Get me Gato." Gato begins to approach, and you'll see that John kind of stands in front of her, and he's just like, "You said that thing wasn't going to hurt us as long as we kept our space. And yet, look at what just happened." Pointing towards his men. You'll see that Gato kind of looks for a moment, and she's like, "I told you, that antler is not going to harm you if you keep your distance." You'll see that John goes ahead and looks straight towards Gato, kind of sizing her up, stepping up on her. He's just like, "You said that, but my men, some of them are dead, and some of them are going to be. That's not what we agreed upon. That's not what you said. I've been wanting to hunt that thing down and kill it for how long now? You kept on telling me this is not the way. We need to be careful. We need to be protecting it. We need to study it. What are we going to do about these men, Gato? What are we going to be doing about any of this?" Gato stands there for a moment, and you see she's just like raises her hands, and she's like, "I told you, you need to be patient. That is not a monstrosity. It's a living thing. It's trying to understand its surroundings." You'll see that John goes ahead and looks over towards the lot of you, and then turns. And at this point, he says, "The next time I see that thing, I'm going to put a bullet between each and every one of its eyes." And you'll see that John begins to fume off, heading back towards the entrance. You'll see that the rest of his crew kind of follow through, whereas Rosemary, as well as her crew, which is Vernon and Lee, begin trying to tend to the individuals that had gotten hurt, kind of realizing that several of them are already passed. You'll see that Gato goes ahead and slumps her shoulders and just seems so tired right now. Rosemary is just kind of more preoccupied with the individuals that are trying to survive, trying to keep them alive. What do you guys do?
Ezra will walk up to Arthur and kind of low. He says it low. Should we just maybe go? Is this even worth any of this? They've helped Charlotte. This seems like bigger than us, and I don't want to get involved with it.
That answers the question. If you don't want to get involved, leaving now would probably be the best option.
But what do you want to do?
Well, I've got what I care about. We've got the road ahead. We've got supplies that we haven't handed over.
What about Harriet?
Well, that's Caitlin's call. Mine. If it doesn't suit her to pay a price that kindness should have paid, then I'm not going to force her hand into it.
Maybe they haven't done anything to us yet. Maybe see if we can stay the night for a negotiable low cost, reassess in the morning.
Yeah, I also think that we keep an eye, because if that fella either causes trouble in camp or, I don't know, more worrying is that if he decides to go on a hunt in the middle of the night and causes more issues than we want to deal with. I don't want him to bring it down on this camp either. Now, I think he's licking his wounds, so something tells me he's not going to storm off in the middle of the night. I haven't already been beaten, but I've seen men do crazier things for less. But in my estimation, I don't think one night would hurt us.
Probably be good.
It would help us.
It'd probably be good for Charlotte too. I know. Yeah.
My only worry is I would like to see how she's going to deal with the medication overnight versus being on the road and starting it then and worrying about food and medicine at the same time.
Yeah. Well, why don't we see if we can get some kind of cabin or something for the night? Have a meeting as a group, decide where we want to go and what to do next.
And I'll be honest with you, you'd be surprised what Clint can get for free, so if you give him a night, he may just have all the information you need.
Works for me. I'll go talk to the girls.
Point of order, and Clint at this point is now chiming in this whole time as the reporter instincts kick in. He just absorbed and observed, just watching everything that's going on. And he's going to say to the two of you, point of order, we should probably have 2 people in the car tonight. I don't mind sleeping in the car, but in case things pop off, somebody with the keys would probably be a good idea.
So you're volunteering for car duty, and the rest of us need to figure out who's staying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll sleep in the car. Maybe Bug, you can join me.
Yeah, I've got some things I'd like to repair anyways.
So now the question is, how deep do you want to go into this?
I don't want to go deep at all. I like kiddie pools. I was an elementary school teacher. I want to stay as shallow as fucking possible.
These are obviously 2 factions that are opposed in some ideas. And in a situation like this, it's prudent to remember what the mission is. We're not heroes. Heroes are just people that get everybody else killed. So we'll get what we can get. I'll wheel and deal, see what kind of information we can get. We got to figure out, there are some other things. that we have to discuss as well. Some information that we picked up at the gas station we hadn't had a chance to all sit down and talk about yet. So I reckon at least getting cozy for one night might be in our best interest.
Well, I can play for entertainment if they need some kind of payment. Maybe it'll work, and maybe it'll save us a little bit on our supplies.
Might be that.
And I will say, basically as soon as the confrontation ended, as frustrated as Caitlin is, and as like beating herself up in her head as she is, as soon as people move to help those wounded people, that's where she is. So I don't even think she's part of this conversation. She's helping Rosemary and Lee and Vernon, like tourniqueting and just trying to staunch bleeding and like whatever, just part of that.
And Clint, at this moment, seeing that an action is being formed, will take the most important task that we need to do and secure that moonshine.
Clint, sneak around.
Sneak around! They gave it to us!
Oh, the 2 bottles that they gave to you? Sure.
Yeah.
I thought you were going for more. I was like, this guy's going to get greedy.
Get that whole crate. That whole crate's going home.
Yeah, I don't think we need extra fuel for the car. It's just fuel for Clint.
Bug, if you can, do me a search and survey.
Yes. Search and survey. Can I spend a heroism point? My last one?
Of course.
I'll just say I'll use it to find the useful item. And roll. Can I do that?
Yeah, you can spend a heroism point to find a useful item. You can roll as well. That'll just be separate, and you just tell me what useful item you think you'd find. Actually, how about this?
Yes.
Give me the useful item. You don't have to roll. Your choice. You can find a useful item, or you can give it to me, and I tell you what you find. But it might not be to your liking. It might be. Who knows? I don't know.
Why do I hate that so much? You're probably not gonna like
As soon as this happens, it's over.
I think Atlas wants us to find what he was trying to get us to find. So I vote with our Atlas.
In Atlas we trust.
Don't ever trust me. Okay. That's the worst thing you guys could ever do.
And Rand is somewhere where they're going, yes, trust the Atlas.
I'll do this. I'll let the die decide, and I'll keep the heroism point.
All right.
Lie
It's
and cheat. Lie and cheat. Now use the hero point. Abuse the system.
No.
So you rolled a 1?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's terrible for you.
Because I did want to say I would have broken off to like kind of scrounge about. So.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think Bug would have been like, she would have been in this moment looking around. Again, there's a lot of useful items here, things that Bug probably can make use of. Bug, did you bring that grenade with you?
I did.
Oh. Atta girl.
No, I'm not gonna have the grenade go.
Eye contact with you and said, "Don't bring the grenade."
She's in her early 20s. She's basically a teenager.
You're not gonna tell me what to do. You're not even my real dad.
Yeah, exactly.
While you're looking for things, though. Like,
meanwhile, when we were in our 20s, we were like, I am so mature now. And then, 40 hits, and you're like, I was a fucking dumbass.
That's what I'm trying to portray.
So, Bug, at this point, everybody else seems to be doing something. Your attention, though, is taken to the crates that are nearby, where Rosemary had pilled out the bottles of moonshine. You're going to see other crates. You're going to see other crates that are filled with items, things that you think you could use, things that would attract your attention. At this point, you begin to move forward, kind of looking over the crates. And again, everybody else is kind of caught by something. No one's really keeping an eye on you. You're going to see that the 3 major individuals that are part of the faction here of Gatto's faction happens to be like Rosemary, Lee, and Vernon. They're taking care of the injured individuals. Gatto's kind of taking care of Charlotte at this moment. And so you You don't have to really slink away. It's just basically, yeah, I'm just going to take a few steps over here, see what I can find. On top of one of the boxes, you see something that catches your eye. You don't really know what it is exactly, but you reach out for it. Right off to your right-hand side, you see, no, this is up. You see the crate is right above you. You're going to see to your right-hand side, there is a window kind of looking out towards the other buildings. As you begin to reach up, your sight just turns over towards the right, looking out the window, and you're going to see the door for the next adjoining building, and it has this very impressive lock. Something that you wouldn't think would be afforded to just any area or any space out here. And that kind of catches your sight. But as it's catching your sight, you tip the box over and its contents to begin to fall on top of you. I'm going to say that you're going to end up taking 2 damage. Physical damage as these items kind of fall over you. You hear crash. Everybody stops to look and turn over towards you, except for the people that are tending to the victims. Everybody else is just going to stop and look to see what happened. At this point, you would see. Well, what do they see, Bug?
They see Bug surrounded by all the whatever was inside, just kind of like very guiltily, like hand still outstretched, kind of like, sorry. And just awkwardly stand there.
And at this point, how does everybody else react to Bug's unintentional grasp at the end? By the way, it wasn't really anything. It was just like the top of a screwdriver. You already have a couple of those. It wasn't really all that special.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, try to dig you out, make sure you're okay. My goodness. Did it fall on you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, it was, I saw something shining. It was, I'm fine. No, really, I'm fine. It's okay. All good. It was just, I was curious. It's all good. My bad, honestly. Didn't mean to. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah.
It's fine. Boxes fall, things happen. It's not a problem. Nobody has a problem.
Do I see that anybody else is trying to be like, from the people that live there trying to come over to us?
Not at this moment. You'll see that Lee, Vernon, and Rosemary are taking care of the patients. You'll see that Gatto is taking care of Charlotte. Actually, I will say Charlotte will give you a look. And you'll see that Charlotte looks at you for a moment. She has this very steely gaze upon you for a moment, but it kind of dissipates. And then you'll see she turns her attention back to the young girl and tending to the girl.
Okay. And I'll try to like, Caitlin, as you're like trying to see if I'm okay, I'll just kind of like pull you towards the window and like gestures towards it. Also trying to be like very awkwardly, no, I'm fine, it's fine. There's nothing going on. Sorry about that. Like, look.
I would have you so roll, and just to see you if you don't feel that too. And it's just like Bug, just like
Couldn't dodge a wrench. Now she can't point at a window. We're great.
Do you think that's where they keep the cocoon thing?
I don't know, but that's a fancy looking lock.
Maybe they have an alien in there.
Dude.
Can you imagine?
Is this something that could be possibly overheard by any of the other party members, or are we trying to keep it away from everyone?
Let the girls have their fun.
I'm not trying. Listen, I'm not trying to rain on the parade or anything.
It's just girls doing girl shit, like eating hot shit.
Yeah, this is girl talk.
What's the phrase? Eat hot shit, eat hot shit, and what?
Hey, all right. That's all right. I think I'll...
Well, I think we established that everybody's going to try to meet up later tonight. So I think in the moment, it's just...
Gotcha.
And I think, too, like, I'm super frustrated. You're hurt. I think that, yeah, us, like, devolving into goofy giggles and then just, like, recentering and coming back and being like, okay, let's keep going. And then just, keep helping and whatever.
Okay.
And so I will say that at this point, as you guys are preparing, getting yourselves gathered together, you're planning on spending the night, you guys are making and formulating plans as to how the rest of the day is going to turn out. We are going to actually lift up the camera for a moment away from the compound known as Barrowford, and we are going to go ahead and see John with his crew kind of standing off on the ridge. They're not standing on a ridge, they're actually moving towards the location where all the cars are at. And at this point, John, you'll see that he has several trucks kind of lined up behind on the trail. And at this point, he jumps on the truck itself, and he's just like, if that bitch ain't going to bring that beast down, I will. And just to make sure that they're not following me, you'll see that he pulls out a gun, and with that, he begins to take shots at the other vehicles, taking out their tires. Sadly, Arthur, the aluminum Falcon, is one of those vehicles. And you'll see that
I'm
after
gonna
the
kill
shots are
John,
fired,
so that's on the menu.
as soon as the shots are fired and the tires are blown, you'll see that the remainder of his crew begin to drive backwards upon the path, heading back off onto the road. And at this point, we'll look at the back of their vehicles, and you're going to notice ammunition and several explosives kind of situated there. And off in the distance, you'll hear the baleful moan of this creature, the Antler, calling out. But that is going to be for next session to decide what happens.
Oh, we're burning it
Wow.
onto the fucking ground.
You're gonna give the sledgehammer. You're gonna give the
So good.
sledgehammer a new nail
Yeah.
to hit, and then you're gonna make me wait a week. That's fine.
That's fine.
as
It's
one
all
should.
fine.
As one should. As one should.
It's gonna be okay. Well, the good news is that I'm sleeping in the car tonight, so at least we'll see that early enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I need you to prepare a good Clint face for when you see what happens, knowing what reaction.
Hold on, I'll try it. Hold on, let me give one. Hold on.
Ew.
We'll work on it. We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop
No, no.
Workshop it.
Yeah. We're
That's
gonna
for the
need a
that's-
week's workshop that one.
Yeah,
And then
work on it
full
in the
business
Discord.
days.
We'll work on it in the Discord. It's fine.
Okay, so viewers, thank you so much for tuning in today. We're gonna see you next week for another episode, session 3 of Last Caravan. If tomorrow never comes, please be sure to check out our other AP, Castles in the Air. We do that on every other Sunday for the next few months because it's a limited series. So come and join us there, and come and join us on the Discord and check out our episodes. Have a wonderful night, and bye bye.
Laters.
Bye.
I got